For our national anthem with Huey Lewis and the Nudes.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang out, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And the News with our national anthem. It's the 49ers and the Saints. Right now, our NFL Mobile Moment presented by Verizon.
Tim Tebow does it again. I'm told the Broncos starting quarterback gave a very impassioned speech to his teammates this morning, telling them, hey, this is David versus Goliath. Obviously, the Patriots being Goliath here. We've gone through so much stuff this year. Nobody believed in us. Let's not be afraid of the big bag giant. I'm told he got a standing ovation from his teammates. NFL Mobile is built to bring you the game. Get updates and highlights of your favorite teams. Call Star NFL to get NFL Mobile only from Verizon.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
'49ers head coach Jim Harbaugh and his quarterback Alex Smith on a beautiful day here in San Francisco, 62 degrees. The 49ers have won the toss but deferred. Let's head down to the field. And Tony Siragusa. Goose.
Thanks, Kenny. This is going to be great today. We got the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. Two completely different defenses with two completely different philosophies. When you look at San Francisco, they're old school. They're fundamentally sound. They're physical. They run to the ball, and they make you earn every yard. Now, when you look at the New Orleans Saints, it's very simple. They want to do three things. They want to pressure, and bring more pressure. And if they give up a big play for a touchdown, they're still going to come with pressure all day long. Listen, both of these offenses are very good. But let's not ever forget, defenses win championships.
All right, thanks, Goose. And Sean Payton's Saints won the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, a career postseason record of 5-2. And there's Jim Harbaugh getting set to coach in his first postseason game.
And I think it's one of those classic matchups. Obviously, during the course of the game, it is strength versus strength. The New Orleans Saints offense against the San Francisco 49er defense. This is going to be a great game to watch.
49ers won the coin toss 11 times during the regular season. They deferred every time. They do so again today. So David Akers will get things started. Darren Sproles set an NFL record for combined net yards in a season. Sproles will take a knee, so Drew Brees and the Saints will start from their own 20-yard line. Brees set NFL records for completions, completion percentage, and yards in the season, and he threw for 466 in the wild card game last week against Detroit.
He has had an absolutely unbelievable season, one of the best seasons by a quarterback in the history of this game. This offense has played together for quite some time. The key pieces on this side of the ball know each other very, very well. There's going to be times when San Francisco defends the play perfectly and the Saints will still make a play.
Jim Harbaugh's got to feel really good about his defense to put the ball in Brees' hands with the deferring a coin toss.
Here we go. Breeze on first down. Swings it out to Sproles. And Darren Sproles gains 5 out to the 25-yard line.
We see the highlights. We know how explosive this group is. Jimmy Graham is a matchup problem. They create matchup problems all over the field, but in my opinion, what makes them unique, what makes this offense so dangerous is these guys right here. They are the ones who pass protect. They allow Drew Brees to step up in the pocket, 2 of the best guards in the NFL, and they are the reason why New Orleans runs the ball so effectively.
Pierre Thomas in the backfield. Saints send in an extra blocker and Pat McQuiston. Breeze on 2nd and 5, complete for a first down. It's Michael Higgins, the backup tight end, who caught only 1 pass during the regular season. Gains 10 as we check out the 49ers' 4th-ranked defensive unit.
And Sean Payton called this the best defensive front they will have faced all season long. That front 7 has to be able to control the run because they need everybody they can in the back end in this passing game. It's going to be fun to see how they match up with Jimmy Graham, with Darren Sproles, and can they get some takeaways? This team has been great at taking the ball away.
This is Chris Ivory, who led the Saints in rushing last season, played in only 6 games during the regular season due to injuries, so 3 offensive plays. We've seen 3 different running backs for the Saints.
And that's how they do it here. It is running back by committee, but it is a very, very effective running game. There were 131 100-yard rushers this year. Only 1 for the Saints, Chris Ivory, the last week of the season against Carolina, yet they're the number 6 rushing team in the NFL. They do it by committee, and they all add their own spark to this offense.
Breeze on 2nd and 7. The catch is made by Sproles. And Sproles picks up a first down as he crosses midfield. A gain of 12.
Now, you talk about it all the time about running backs and the way they stop. I mean, watch Darren Sproles right here. Come back, plant his foot, boom, come back, get out of the way, and just head straight upfield. I love running backs that do that. They don't go side to side. They're going right towards the end zone.
New set of downs for the Saints from the San Francisco 49. Robert Meacham gains 4 down to the 45-yard line, setting up 2nd down and 6.
And this first drive is kind of exactly why it's so difficult to slow down this offense. You see all the different people that are getting touches here. I mean, you can't isolate one aspect, one component, one player when you face the Saints. There's too many weapons out there. You can see the start that Drew Brees is off to.
I'll tell you what, too, the tempo down here is extremely fast.
On 2nd and 6, this is Ivory. Goes through 1 tackle, and then is met at the 44-yard line. Gain of just 1.
Good play by Isaac Sopoaga getting in. Number 90, watch him right on your center. Slips the backside, and then the pursuit down the line. He doesn't make the tackle, but there's Patrick Willis. Again, Tony talked about the fundamentals on this defense. They are one of the best tackling teams you'll see in the NFL.
Third down and 5. Saints must get to the 39-yard line as this pass is bobbled, dropped, but there is a flag. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, Dante Whitner on the coverage.
Jimmy Graham is slow to get up. That's one of those plays where it's downfield. Let's see how he lands.
Defense, number 41. Contact without playing the ball. Automatic first down. It's 5-5.
Dante Whitner needed to get his head around. There was a little bit of contact right there. I think the official keeps that flag in his pocket if he's got a head around looking back for the football. But because he didn't, he has the ability to call pass interference. And you can see Jimmy Graham go down on the back, maybe bumping his head as he went down to the turf.
So Graham heading to the sidelines. Whitner flagged for pass interference. So the Saints pick up 23 yards Got a first down.
And we've got a new procedure here in place. You'll have an NFL representative upstairs, and he's watching everything that's going on down on the field. If there's the potential where a training staff miss somebody, they'll go down to that monitor. They have a phone down on each sideline, a monitor on each sideline. They're going to alert the training staff that, hey, make sure you take a look at this guy when he comes off the field. We thought we saw something on there that you guys may have missed. And I think you go back to the Colt McCoy play earlier this year in Cleveland, also last year in Philadelphia with Kevin Cobb and Stuart Bradley. Sometimes the trainers get so involved in one injury, they miss another.
And that system put in place towards the end of the regular season. So with Graham on the sidelines, Breeze hands it off to Pierre Thomas, and Thomas gains 6 down to the 14-yard line.
This is the one area where if you're trying to build an argument that the New Orleans Saints are not as dynamic outside on grass as they are when they play inside, is here in the red zone. The red zone touchdown percentage goes down. We'll see if San Francisco can force a field goal attempt here.
Michael Higgins, number 81, is in for the injured Graham, who caught 99 balls during the regular season. Breeze on 2nd and 4. Carlos Rogers on the coverage for the Niners.
Carlos Rogers, one of those Pro Bowl players on this defense. Matched up with Devery Henderson. Great job. He's got his eyes on Drew Brees, settles down. Once that ball is thrown, he's breaking on the ball. This is a very aggressive defense. They trust their eyes, they trust their instincts, and they make plays on the football.
Empty backfield, 3rd down and 4. Breeze throws to his right. Catch is made by Colston, and he's cut down by Deshaun Goldson. It will depend on the spot and the forward progress. And Colston does pick up the Saints' first down.
Just a good route by Marcus Colston because he gets the depth necessary for the first down. If you're tackled immediately, make sure you get enough depth on your break, on your route, that you have the first down. It's a good tackle by Deshaun Goldson, but Marcus Colston ran the route at the appropriate depth.
They are challenging their line of scrimmage. Saw Culliver up on him.
Here's Sproles, and it's Goldson who comes up to make the tackle.
Jimmy Graham is going to be heading into the locker room, and there's a guy that you're going to miss right here in this part of the field. You talk about red zone matchups when you've got somebody with his size. It's a matchup problem down here. Now also, John Gilmore is inactive today. Right now, the New Orleans Saints only have one healthy tight end on their roster, Michael Higgins, number 81. So there's a big miss in their offensive package.
With Graham back in the locker room, 2nd and 9. Breeze sets up the screen, and then Sproles slips down at the 7-yard line.
Now they've been talking about the field and the moisture in the field. And watch Darren Sproles right here on this screen. After he gets the ball, I mean, this guy, low center of gravity, but he tries to make a cut, and there goes his left foot, slipped right out from underneath him. He is wearing 7 studs, though. That shoe right there gives you the most grip that you could possibly get. Only thing you can do is increase the length of the studs underneath, and we'll check and see if he does that.
3rd down and 6. Breeze moving to his right. He throws, and the tackle is made by Dante Whitner, shy of a first down. The ball is loose at the bottom of the pile. Pierre Thomas unable to pick up the first down on the hit by Whitner. Officials trying to get to the bottom of the pile.
Forward progress was ruled on the field, so there will be no attempt at a fumble. I thought the side judge had called forward progress was stopped. Dante Whitner with a great break on the ball and the big hit right there. And it is loose.
49ers recover.
Southwest make
Back in San Francisco, the Saints turn the ball over at the 49ers 2-yard line on their opening drive. San Francisco with 38 takeaways during the regular season, tied for the league lead. So Alex Smith and the 49ers offense start from their own 2-yard line. Smith on first down, complete. Out to the 11-yard line, Michael Crabtree for a gain of 9.
We're going to go back on that last play. I want you to watch at the end of the run as the official comes in from the sideline, right near the down marker, right up here. Watch him as he comes in. And he'll get the signal up.
Number 75, number 90, number 94 have all reported as eligible.
So let's bring in our NFL rules analyst, Mike Pereira. Mike, what did you see?
Hey, same thing. You know, he did give a forward progress ruling, but they overruled him on the field, which was the right decision. And remember, a signal does not kill the play. So really a good job of creating what that was, which was a fumble.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Frank Gore picks up 5 yards out of 49ers first down.
Kind of a costly opening drive for the New Orleans Saints. Jimmy Graham has lost Pierre Thomas. That was a big hit by Dante Whitner. We'll keep our eyes on him. He's heading into the locker room right now as well.
Saints drive 78 yards on their opening possession, but come away with nothing. From the 16-yard line, the toss to Gore, and Gore picks up a first down. Out to the 31-yard line. Frank Gore, like Alex Smith, playing in his first career postseason game, gains 15.
And I think it's going to be interesting to watch this during the course of the day, Tony, because you talked about all the pressure that the Saints defense likes to bring. If you can punch a hole, and with this down block, crack style, bringing guys around for San Francisco, they can create some running lanes in that blitz.
Absolutely. You know, gap responsibility is very important when you're bringing pressure. And if one guy gets out of the gap, and San Francisco's so good at overloading and moving guys around that it's very easy to open up holes.
Smith on first down. He was looking for Kyle Williams, Tracy Porter. The coverage. No flags as we check out the 49ers offense.
Alex Smith has done a great job at quarterback this season. Frank Gore, good to see. I'm so happy for those guys to be in the playoffs. We've met with them throughout their career. Great to see them with smiles on their faces all season long. Again, here's another great offensive line group for the San Francisco 49ers. And you heard Tony talk about doing some overloads and some different things to create running game concepts. Alex Boone, number 75, a big tackle will come in. You'll see a lot of 3 tackles, multiple tight end running formations by the Niners.
Smith on 2nd and 10. And it's complete out across the 40 to the 42 for a first down. Ted Ginn Jr. gains 11.
Look at the cushion by Tracy Porter on Ted Ginn. That's stealing right there for Alex Smith in this offense. A quick slant, plenty of cushion. If Greg Williams is going to mix in his pressures and be aggressive, he's going to have to get up and close that gap. There can't be that much cushion given on the outside.
Well, he hasn't been bringing the pressure we thought so far. He's got the 2 big guys inside, though, getting a lot of push.
From the 42, on first down, Smith to the outside, and that pass was well behind the intended receiver, Ginn. The Saints with the 24th ranked defensive unit, but as Tony mentioned earlier, they bring a lot of pressure.
They do, and it's been an adjustment for defensive coordinator Greg Williams, because when you play with an offense like New Orleans, it's not about yards. This group is about bringing pressure. They're very good on third down. The elements that are missing, the sacks, the interceptions, the other things that you would think would come hand in hand with a very high-volume pressure-style defense.
And they're able to take chances because the Saints offense scores 34 points per game.
You can be as aggressive as you want to be when you've got an offense that has your back like the Saints do.
Here comes the pressure. Smith on second down, and the catch is made by the tight end Vernon Davis, tackled after a gain of 5 by the free safety Malcolm Jenkins.
There's a little man coverage right there. Malcolm Jenkins does a nice job because he's got Vernon Davis. He's very athletic, creates some mismatches, and you'll see that. Watch the crossing underneath by Justin Peele and Vernon Davis, trying to get guys to run over the top, create that separation. So Alex Smith has an opportunity to make the completion.
Third down and 5 for the 49ers. Three wide receivers set. Smith out of the shotgun. Smith looking, and down he goes. The ball comes loose, and Gore falls on it back at the 33-yard line after the hit by Roman Harper. And now some extracurricular activity.
Let me tell you what, these guys, they're not backing down for a minute. We've seen San Francisco a couple times this year. Anthony Davis, one of the nastier guys you'll see, off the edge, unblocked, all the way to Alex Smith. There's that overload blitz you were talking about, Tony.
Yeah, Roman Harper does a nice job of coming in and going after the ball. You know, it's one thing of getting a sack, but when you have an opportunity to get that ball out and give your offense field position, that's huge, and that's exactly what he did.
Now here's one of those areas of complementary football that the 49ers have done so well this year. Andy Lee is amazing as a punter, so he actually changes field position. I think it's going to be fun today to watch because Thomas Morstead for the Saints is the backup All-Pro, the second-team All-Pro punter. So it's going to be a fun combination here today.
Lee's punt is end over end. It does take a 49ers roll all the way down to the 19-yard line. Roman Harper, 7.5 sacks during the regular season. First today. Back in San Francisco, no score. There is Jimmy Graham, who has returned. As we take a look at the punt by Lee, looks like it was tipped by either Jonathan Casillas or Martez Wilson.
Yeah, you see Jonathan Casillas right there saying that he got a piece of that football. They pressured right up the middle, right over the center and right guard of the San Francisco punt protection unit.
Play action on first down with Jimmy Graham back on the field. And the pass is intended for Darren Sproles. No update yet from the Saints on Pierre Thomas, who was shaken up on the last play of the Saints' opening possession when he fumbled.
That would be two critical losses for this Saints offense. Number one, Jimmy Graham, good to have him back out there if you're a Saints fan. We talked about the matchup issues, and especially when he was out down in the red zone. Pierre Thomas, part of that running back by committee, was outstanding last week in the wild card round against Detroit.
And the Saints picked up 626 yards on offense. They scored 45 points. This is Ivory. And he's tackled as he crosses the 20 by Isaac Sopoaga and Navarro Bowman. Gain of 2. Setting up third down and 8 for the Saints.
Just when you think you do a good job and you put the New Orleans Saints in a third and long situation, you find out that they're the best in the NFL at third and long. Number 1 overall on third down, but very, very good here in third and long situations throughout the year.
Saints must get to the 29 for a first down. Breeze under pressure. Down he goes back at the 10-yard line. The rookie out of Missouri, Aldon Smith, with 14 sacks during the regular season, takes down Breeze for a loss of 11.
He's one of those guys that you have to have an eye on where he's coming from. On the left side here, coming in, continues to work against Jermon Bushrod. They get Drew Brees out of the pocket. And if you can continue to get pressure with your 4 down and allow the other 7 to drop back in coverage, that is a huge plus for the Niners.
That's just effort. Thomas Morstead punting from the goal line. Terrific kick taken at the 30 by Ted Ginn Jr. And Ginn returns it 15 yards out to the 45. A 60-yard punt by Morstead. What a rookie season for Aldon Smith. Welcome back. Terrific starting field position for the 49ers, who used 7 different formations on their first possession.
Well, they knew the Saints were going to come in as a multiple defense, and they decided they were going to match them being very multiple on the offense. So you can see there a lot of different formations on that opening drive.
Kendall Hunter, rookie out of Oklahoma State, in the backfield, and he takes the handoff from Smith and cuts across midfield into Saints territory for a gain of 5.
I thought it was interesting talking to Roman Harper, and you expect people to talk about Frank Gore and what he does. He was more worried about Kendall Hunter. He said he has sneaky breakaway speed, and all of a sudden you're watching Frank Gore, and he's got that physical style. And if you're not aware, when 32 steps into that huddle, he's going to break a long run on you.
Hunter, 4th round pick. Gore back in the game, 2nd down and 5. Smith fires downfield on 2nd down, and Vernon Davis will take it all the way for a Niners touchdown. 49 yards.
Take that, Jimmy Graham. Vernon Davis is going to be in front of Justin Peele, 81. A stacked release. He creates separation right away. And then Malcolm Jenkins, as he comes up to make a play, actually blocks Roman Harper. They're both down. And Vernon Davis just strides into the end zone.
David Akers has the extra point. Vernon Davis in his 6th season. First postseason game for both Davis and Alex Smith. 7-0 with the slam dunk, San Francisco.
Invisible.
49ers strike first. 2 plays, 54 yards. Crowd going crazy here at Candlestick Park. Hosting its first postseason game since January of 2003. Courtney Roby back deep for the Saints. Roby on the run. Roby tackled at the 13-yard line by C.J. Spellman. Vernon Davis celebrating. 49ers by a touchdown. Back in San Francisco, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Just over 2 minutes remaining, first quarter, with the 49ers leading the Saints 7-0. Empty backfield as the Saints start from their own 14-yard line. Here comes Carlos Rogers. Breeze able to get the pass away. It's Graham. Graham is hauled down at the 18-yard line by the combination of Whitner and Bowman, gain of 4.
I don't think that Drew Brees gets enough credit for his awareness in the pocket. He's going to have a free blitzer come right to him, and he's just going to do a nice settle move of stepping up. I mean, Carlos Rogers has got the opportunity, just that nice little step-up moves to the outside. Those are some of the things you can't afford to do as a defense. When you have an opportunity to make a play, you have to against the Saints.
2nd down and 6, complete to Darren Sproles for a Saints first down out at the 25-yard line. Sproles picks up 7. New set of downs for the Saints from the 25 with an empty backfield. Breeze steps up, and he fires. It is picked off. The second New Orleans turnover to Sean Goldson. Goldson inside the 10, still on his feet, and finally tackled at the 3-yard line by Jari Evans.
Great preparation and understanding by the 49ers in this situation. They know that Drew Brees loves to go vertical. He'll make a play into areas that look covered from the pocket. He moves into the center of the field. He reads that vertical route, steps right in front of it. So he's on the far right side of the field. He fools Drew Brees, gets him to throw that vertical ball down the seam, and makes the interception.
6 picks during the regular season for Goldson, who is heading to the Pro Bowl. He returned it 42 yards.
That was a heck of a return on it.
It was. Isaac Sopwaka in as a tight end. First and goal from the 4-yard line. Smith looking to his left. and then throws it away.
So all week long, during your preparation, you see these passes being completed. So there's Goldson. He holds his position, and then he breaks as soon as he sees Drew Brees lock on to Adrian Arrington down the seam. And then this is a nice run after the interception. Must have been a running back in the day at some point, Goose.
Yeah, absolutely. That last play also, Joe Staley was wide open in the back of the end zone. Alex Smith couldn't get the ball to him.
Smith on second and goal, looking end zone, and throws it out through the corner of the end zone. So third and goal coming up for the 49ers after they forced a second Saints turnover in this first quarter.
Oh, this is a good stance by Greg Williams' group right here. The first play, one of those oops plays where the tight end goes down to the ground and you have motion away, but Roman Harper did a great job of recognizing that, had Vernon Davis covered out in the flat. Good coverage on that last play as well.
Now they got trips away from Vernon Davis all by himself here on the left side.
Three receivers to the right. Third and goal from the 4. Smith, the slant, touchdown. Michael Crabtree.
I tell you what, Frank Gore, we talk about him as a running back and a ball carrier, but one of the better pass protectors in the NFL. Watch him on this. Watch 21 on the pass protection. Crosses the formation, picks up the blitz. Guys, that's Will Smith. That's one of the best pass rushers on the New Orleans Saints. He's not crossing formation to pick up a secondary blitzer. He's taking on a defensive end.
Alex Smith does a nice job also of standing in there, finding his receiver, and making a great throw for a touchdown.
So the 49ers capitalize following the Goldson interception of Brees. It is now 14-0 San Francisco.
Can't say enough how San Francisco has started this game, and really one of the things that Sean Payton said, we cannot allow them to play on their terms. We've got to take them out of their comfort zone. Well, they have done anything but that. Go back and take a look at this pick again. Here's Deshaun Goldson back here. He's on the far side. Just a great job of anticipation. He kind of gets lost between a couple receivers, gets hidden in the mix. But understanding what New Orleans wants to do, preparing yourself during the course of the week, that's some great film study and some great coaching. And here's a heck of a throw right here to Michael Crabtree on the quick slant. Look at that separation from Jabari Greer. But New Orleans wanted to get San Francisco out of their comfort zone. They did not want to allow them to play on their terms, and they have not done that. They are doing exactly what they've done all year long. Sound defense, making you earn every yard you get, taking the ball away.
Both teams finished with 13 wins. San Francisco, the number 2 seed by virtue of the tiebreaker. Saints, 3 seed. They had to play last week in the wild card round. And remember what Greg Roman, the 49ers offensive coordinator, told us. It's a 20-point swing playing at home, not playing in New Orleans. It means 10 more points for them or for us and 10 fewer points for them. Roby scoops it up. And then is tackled at the 14-yard line.
The ball came out there at the end of the run, guys. He lost the ball at the end of the run before he was down.
And you got Colin Jones from the Niners saying first down Niners.
Saints have already turned the ball over twice. As players continue to push and shove with one another, officials trying to get to the bottom of the pile. After Courtney Roby coughed it up. And it will be 49ers football once again. The third New Orleans turnover.
He loses the ball right there, but then he scoops it back up. Courtney Roby goes, he runs. Before he gets down, he gets stripped, and the ball is out.
Medea Williams with the strip.
You know what, Tony? He's so stacked up by all these players, I don't think he got down before that ball came out.
No, there was all players underneath him. He didn't have nothing touch the ground. You talk about it.
Number 75. Number 75 is reported eligible.
About how this defense strips the ball, and got a lot of those defensive players on these special teams. They're going after the ball every time.
So first and 10 for the 49ers from the 13-yard line. Here's Gore. Frank Gore down to the 11-yard line. Gain of 2. So Sean Payton's Saints committing 3 first-quarter turnovers. The 49ers were plus 28 during the regular season in turnover ratio, plus 3 so far today.
And Sean Payton knew that it was going to be a big part of the game. You know, could they weather the storm against San Francisco's defense? And as Tony pointed out, even special teams and putting the ball on the ground. I mean, just a huge disparity when you talk about San Francisco at plus 28, New Orleans minus 3 for the year.
So the first quarter comes to an end with the 49ers leading the Saints 14-0.
All New Comedy returns this Tuesday on Fox.
Well, the story of this game is pretty simple, folks. Turnovers, 3 for New Orleans, 0 for the San Francisco 49ers.
First play of the second quarter. On 2nd and 8, Smith connects with the tight end Justin Peele for a gain of 4.
And what that has created is a huge disparity in starting field position. Now remember, that first drive by the Niners started on their 2-yard line, which when Dante Whitner with the big hit on Pierre Thomas, maybe the play of the game right now. You're talking about 3-0, 7-0 New Orleans, and all of a sudden that game shifts, and New Orleans hasn't been able to catch it back since then.
Yeah, no points at all.
3 wide receivers set, Crabtree in the slot. 3rd down and 4. Play clock at 1. Smith looks to his left, rolls to his left, and then he throws it away. So the 49ers with a 14-0 lead will send out the field goal unit.
But a smart play by Alex Smith right here. You know, you don't have anything. Don't make the critical mistake. You've seen what the turnovers have done to New Orleans. He wanted a timeout. He didn't think Alex Smith was going to be able to get that snap off without the clock running out on a critical 3rd down.
So here's David Akers, the longtime Philadelphia Eagle, set an NFL record with 44 successful field goals this season. He's heading to the Pro Bowl. This a 25-yard attempt from the left hash. It's now 17-0 San Francisco. What a day here in the Bay Area. What a start for the San Francisco 49ers.
I mean, unbelievable. I don't think anybody could have anticipated this. And you can see right now, I mean, look at the difference. There's the kickoff coverage team in the huddle. I mean, they've got all the momentum, and there's the defense for New Orleans on the sideline trying to figure out what's going on, guys.
They better hold on to the ball. That's what they better do. 3 turnovers. Peyton talked to him. When we talked to him, he said whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win this game. And right now, he's the guy who's losing.
The Saints will start from their own 20-yard line, trailing the 49ers 17-0. And to look at all the numbers, all the records on the Saints side this season, one thing that comes to mind down 17, the biggest deficit the Saints were forced to come back from and were able to come back from this season, just 10 against Houston.
Well, I think when the game started, if you were to say, hey, early in the game it's going to be 17-0, I think everybody would have thought New Orleans got out to the great start. The one thing about New Orleans right now, because they have so much confidence and they can become very efficient offensively, they're going to feel that no lead is insurmountable, even though, as you pointed out, Kenny, 10 points is the biggest one they've come back from this year.
Robert Meacham takes it out to the 28-yard line for a gain of 8.
They've just got to settle down and get some positive plays built up here.
Yeah, they have no momentum whatsoever right now. Yeah, I thought San Francisco was crazy when they deferred to the second half and put the ball in Breeze's hands, but obviously it's worked for him so far.
2nd down and 2 off the fake to Chris Ivory. Breeze with time. Checks it down to the fullback, Ed Collins. And Collins picks up the Saints first down, a gain of 8.
One of those plays that we always see with the New Orleans Saints, kind of a max protection. They're going to try and take a shot down the field. Drew Brees checks it down to his fullback in the flat. That's the area that's going to be open right now. And I kind of felt like, Navarro Bowman gets away one right there. Jeb Collins had his hand on his face mask as he got up, but usually you catch the guy that retaliates.
I don't know. Jed did a pretty good job of 52 faking out that one. Look at that guy looking for a job in Hollywood there, Darryl. Now, ever pull that off or no?
Now could never sell it the right way.
Only one flag so far today. Another Saints first down in 49ers territory as Brees hits Marcus Colston, who takes it down to the San Francisco 44, a 20-yard pass play.
And the hard part is you can just really never relax against this offense. They are so efficient. They do have so much confidence right now. Every snap is critical for this Niners defense.
You look at the Saints' 9-game winning streak, they have averaged 505 yards per game over the last 9. Over 600 yards in each of their last 2 games. From the 44, a pump fake. Brees moves to his left, throws, and the catch is made by Sproles, but he was ruled down as Dante Whitner.
Down but fumbled.
Oh, down but fumbled.
Dante Whitner's ruled down, not Darren Sproles.
So the Saints turn it over for a 4th time today.
Dante Whitner has started off with just a monster game today. He's
Off
down.
the ball.
A ruling on the field because the ball was stripped. But since he was touching the opponent, he's down by contact. 1st and 10.
Challenge flag is out. Looks like his knee was down, Darryl. I think they're going to go and turn this.
Sean Payton has thrown his challenge flag.
Looks like the knee is down
Looks
right
like his
there.
knee's down.
Does he have control of the ball?
Yeah, he
Looks
loses
like he does.
control
The
there
strip
at
comes
the
there.
end when he hits the ground. Sort of rolls out.
New Orleans has challenged the previous play, declaring that the receiver was down by contact prior to the strip. We'll review the play.
It was ruled a fumble on the field, so John Parry will take a look at it. 17-0 49ers.
Direct combination is all new tomorrow on Fox.
The New Orleans Saints have challenged the last play, ruled a fumble, and a 49ers recovery on the field. We bring in Mike Pereira once again. Mike, did you think that Sproles' knee was down?
Well, I certainly think his knee is down. Remember, they ruled on the field a catch. Now, that's the other aspect they're going to look at here. Did he have possession of the ball long enough to make this a catch, which I think since they ruled it, he did. And then I think either the knee is down or the shoulder down here. So to me, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to set this up because now they got to go back. If, in fact, John Parry rules this a reversal and a catch and down by contact, they got to find the spot. They have to readjust the clock, do those types of things.
Another look at the tackle by Whitner on Sproles, so it will either be 49ers football or a 2nd and 6 for the Saints at the San Francisco 40-yard line.
You heard Mike Pereira talk about if they do reverse it, that all the things that they have to do logistically to get the game reset. And a lot of times when he's in that hood this long, that means that's what he's doing. Mike?
Yeah, and that's the whole point. He was in there longer than 60 seconds. Remember, you have 60 seconds to make a decision. Okay, but then if you decide to reverse, you can stay in as long as you need to get all the facts on where you have to set the ball back up.
There's a little tip.
After reviewing the play, with clear possession, the receiver's knee was down at the 39.5-yard line. Therefore, it'll be 2nd down at the 39.5-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 12:27. New Orleans is not charged with the team timeout.
So the Saints win the challenge and will maintain possession.
You see right there, that was the critical part. I agree with Mike, the fact that it was a catch because he never really had it clean, but you could see him secure it in his hands right there. And then there's the knee, the shoulder.
But that's what San Francisco does. They are relentless after taking the ball. They try to take the ball away at any opportunity they can.
Tony, how about the closing speed today? Whether it's Dante Whitner or Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman.
And they are moving. I'll tell you what, the speed from down here on the field, I know you can see it up there, but it is lightning fast. They're just identifying where they got to be, and they're gone.
Second down and 6. Breeze, a pump fake, throws, and Marcus Colston picks up a Saints first down. Gain of 11 to the 27-yard line.
And this is that part of this New Orleans Saints offense. It's not all big explosive plays down the field. They were the best offense in the NFL when you talk about 10-plus play drives. They're very efficient with this passing game. It's not just an explosive component to it, but it's also a ball control style.
Ivory in the backfield. First and 10 from the 28-yard line. Off the fake. Breeze moving to his right. Can't find anyone downfield. And he will take it out of bounds at the 23 as Breeze gains 5 for a Saints club that has won 11 of 12 games indoors this season, scoring 39 points per game.
Well, this is why you had all the discussion during the course of the week leading up to this game, because there is a large disparity in those numbers. But with the conditions we have today, I still don't feel it's being outside on grass. Right now, it's just the fact that New Orleans is turning the ball over, and San Francisco is very opportunistic with those turnovers.
Breeze on 2nd and 5, and the catch is made for a first down by Jimmy Graham. Gain of 7. Patrick Willis made the tackle, so the Saints fortunate in that Graham returned to the game after the early injury. 99 receptions during the regular season, a franchise record, 3rd in the entire league.
And he's just going to continue to get better and better. I mean, he's just starting to understand the subtleties of the game of football, being a basketball player through college the majority of his career, 1 year at the University of Miami. And I tell you what, he's already considered a huge matchup problem and kind of the prototypical tight end that everybody's looking for.
He's tough also. I didn't think he was going to come back when he got hurt there earlier in the game. And when he hit the ground and his head hit, I was like, man, he's not coming back. And I'm really surprised for him to be back in there.
I tell you what,
Ivory up the middle, ball came loose again at the end of the play.
As soon as the progress is stopped, the 49ers are coming after the football. Everybody that's in a skill position for the Saints has to understand right now what is happening right now during the course of this game. San Francisco is relentless coming after the ball, and they've got to do a much better job with their ball security. I mean, they are grabbing at it, pulling at it.
Now 2nd down and 8. Sproles split out to the right. Breeze on 2nd down to the end zone for Jimmy Graham for a Saints touchdown. You are so bad.
I tell you, that's big right there, because Jimmy Graham went down almost the exact same way as he went down in the first quarter, coming from your right tight end spot, number 80. And here's that matchup issue in the red zone. Drew Brees with great location up high so he can go get it, but watch the landing again, flat onto his back, and then that head, that whiplash motion where the head goes back and hits the ground.
Yeah, you knew that something happened, because usually when he scores, he's going to dunk it over the goalpost, and he decided, I'm standing right in front of him, he decided not to and just spiked the ball and walked to the sideline.
John Casey adds the extra point, so Jimmy Graham, 11 touchdowns during the regular season, reached the end zone of the wild card game against Detroit. Does it again here today. 49ers playoff game today here in San Francisco.
Oh, the weather's been, not only today, but the entire weekend, the weather's been fantastic. So some people here in the Bay Area taking advantage of that.
Very important to go and have great weather. And we've done many a playoff game, so I tell you what, Darryl, this is a pleasure being down here in this weather. Beautiful.
62 degrees at kickoff. Saints have quieted this candlestick crowd as Drew Brees goes 7 for 7 on the drive, 14-yard touchdown pass to Jimmy Graham.
No, I talked about both of the defenses, and one thing I haven't seen from the Saints is pressure. A lot of pressure, and trying to force Alex Smith into some bad situations. This is a very important series right here for San Francisco, though. There's 9 minutes, 32 seconds left on the board. They need to go and get some of that clock and whittle it down, because they do not want to give Drew Brees as more possessions than he needs to be in this first half, because when he has the ball in his hands at any time, he could score. So it's important they chew the clock up as much as possible right here.
That was one of the things that Greg Williams said about Jim Harbaugh. He was impressed with his kind of management style as an offensive coach. A lot of times you're talking about tempo, up-tempo, but he thought that Jim Harbaugh did a great job of limiting the opportunities for possessions.
49ers start from their own 20. As Smith looks to set up the screen, and Gore is tripped up and loses a yard.
Good recognition by Jolon Dunbar to get up there and disrupt that screen. You don't wait for it. Get up and press the issue.
Does a nice job of throwing his body and just knocking Frank Gore off his feet on that play. That's one guy you do not want in your secondary, Darryl. Frank Gore, the way he runs. Wow.
Heading to his third Pro Bowl. Justin Peel in motion, second down and 11. The toss to Gore. And Gore works his way back up to the 20-yard line, and Roman Harper able to make the tackle.
Pretty good ratio of plays to points right there, Tony.
Yeah.
It's almost 1-to-1.
That's pretty nice. Hey, listen, get on the field, do what you got to do, and get off. I mean, that's amazing.
49ers have scored 10 points off turnovers. They scored on their last 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Smith on third down and 11. 49ers must get to the 30. Here's Gore, and he's down at the 28-yard line. Scott Shanley made the tackle along with Malcolm Jenkins, so the 49ers will punt it away.
Frank Gore is going to slide across the formation in front of Alex Smith. They're going to dump the screen pass out as the outlet. Let him see if he can get it on the run, the catch and run. Good closing by the Saints defense. There's some bad news for San Francisco. Jonathan Goodwin, the center, limping off the field. So that will shift Adam Snyder, the starting right guard, who really kind of solidified this group during the course of the year. He should slide to center.
Goodwin, the former Saint, spent the last 5 years in New Orleans.
No one hit it. It just looked like he twisted a little bit.
Looked like it straightened out on him, Tony. You know how you get that one that
like
kind of straightens out? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See if it has anything to do with that, or potentially got stepped on by one of his teammates.
Andy Lee waiting back at the 14-yard line. Punting for the second time today. Darren Sproles back deep for the Saints. Yard return by Sproles out to the 34. A 49-yard punt by Lee. Drew Brees and the Saints offense when we return.
How you doing? All new comedy Tuesday after Lee on Fox.
Back in San Francisco. Just over 7 minutes remaining, second quarter. Drew Brees, 16 of 19. Threw a touchdown pass to Jimmy Graham on the Saints' last possession. And remember, Graham hit his head once again. He is not out on the field. Still no report on Pierre Thomas, who was injured earlier. Penalty markers prior to the snap.
Offside, defense, number 94, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Justin Smith, who's heading to his 3rd consecutive Pro Bowl.
Yeah, well, this is kind of one of those, you got me, when he gets into the backfield with Drew Brees, gets him on the hard count, he comes in, doggone it, pats him on the back, nice job.
Ryan Delapente also moved the ball a little bit, laying some games down there on that line of scrimmage.
Jimmy Graham is on the sidelines with his helmet on. This is the best starting field position today for the Saints. Play action as Brees throws, and the catch is made in 49ers territory by Marcus Colston for a gain of 13, his 4th reception today.
And that ball was thrown right by Carlos Rogers, Darryl. I'm really surprised he didn't tip that ball on that pass.
Well, it's confidence in this group, and it's confidence with throws. We touched on it early, Tony. You can play it perfectly, but they can execute and make plays when you've done everything right.
Balls in the backfield from the 49-yard line. Off the play fake. Brees backpedals. Under pressure, he spins away. And then he throws it out of bounds.
That's great coverage down the field by the San Francisco 49ers. Drew Brees has nowhere to go with this football. You see him drop back here. Coverage down the field. Fades. Now he's got to do something with it, but they played against each other last year. And Drew Brees said the one thing that he saw on film was the improvement in their secondary. And he felt that the addition of Carlos Rogers, Chris Colfer, Terrell Brown, he said that was the difference in their defense this year.
On 2nd and 10 with Jimmy Graham back in, this is Sproles. And Darren Sproles takes it down to the 46-yard line.
I tell you what, those are 2 good middle linebackers that you have to account for in this running game. Whether it's Patrick Willis or Navarro Bowman, I mean, man, they are good.
We talked about it earlier, Dow. It's hard to differentiate between the defensive backs and the way they break on the ball and these linebackers. When they see something, they are gone.
Brees on 3rd down and 7. Another Saints first down. That's Adrian Arrington in his 2nd season out of Michigan. Only 2 receptions during the regular season, a gain of 14.
But with Lance Moore out, he's got to come in and play a role. And this is a nice field right here. There's a little bit of zone coverage, finds that soft spot in the zone, gets his head around to Drew Brees.
'49ers defensive line trying to run some stunts up on the line of scrimmage. That's great if they come free, but if they don't, it gives extra time to Drew Brees, something you don't want to do. Time for him to look downfield to find a receiver.
From the 32 on 1st down. Brees to the outside. And the catch is made by Devery Henderson, wrapped up by Carlos Rogers at the 25-yard line, a gain of 7. So the Saints on the move. They trailed 17-0, scored a touchdown on their last possession, and now face a 2nd and 3 from the 25.
And you look at this play selection right here, maybe something to do with the fact that Pierre Thomas is out of the lineup right now in the locker room, but also Sean Payton will tell you, listen, we passed first at the start of a game. We're going to wear you down, we're going to challenge you there. We'll come back and hit you with the run later on in the game.
4 receivers set, 2nd down and 3. Brees over the middle. And the pass was intended for Sproles. Patrick Willis on the coverage.
Watch everybody converge on Darren Sproles. He's going to release up through the line of scrimmage, find that soft spot. Look at them all coming after him. There's 3 guys starting to squeeze him.
Third down and 3. Saints must get to the 22 for a first down as Brees fires downfield. And Marcus Colston makes a spectacular catch for a Saints touchdown.
Here's one of those examples. Chris Culver is in pretty good position. He's only got 1 step on him. Look at the location by the throw by Drew Brees.
Could it have been any better, Darryl? Oh, my Lord. Look at this ball. The perfect spot. Colston gets both feet in.
They rule it a touchdown, so they're going to look at it upstairs.
All scoring plays are reviewed. 25 yards from Breeze to Colston. John Casey for the extra point. And the New Orleans Saints, who trailed by 17, pulled to within 3.
Here I'm watching Darren Sproles out here. Look at him to the right. He's right here. I'm thinking you're just going to check it down to him and let him have the opportunity to catch and run with it. Not this offense. We get one-on-one on the outside. We are taking a shot, and the placement on the throw is just absolutely perfect. Look at that. 1 down, 2 down, break the pylon.
You can't defend that throw right there. You really can't. I mean, he's in perfect position. Chris Culliver.
Just got to keep your poise, Tony, because you know they're going to make their plays. And, you know, if you understand that, they've done it to everybody this season. And just, you know, continue to go out there and keep playing your way. But again, you know, you've mentioned the pressure of the defense of the Saints, what they want to do. You know, I mean, look at the pressure that this offense places on you. You jump out to a 17-0 lead at home, divisional playoff round. You're taking the ball away, and you relax for a second, and you look up, and it's 17-14.
So Drew Brees with 2 touchdown passes here in the second quarter. He's now thrown a touchdown pass in 49 consecutive games, regular season plus postseason, and that ties Johnny Unitas' all-time record, 49 consecutive games, including postseason, with a touchdown pass for Drew Brees.
And you see him right there, you know, just his demeanor as a leader when things are not going your way early in the game. You know, he's never going to panic. He has the confidence in the guys around him, the relationship that he and Sean Payton have, and Pete Carmichael, you know, as play callers and involved with this offense. And you know, again, you talk to him, and you know, gosh, you guys are on a great run. You know, how confident are you as an offensive group? And he said, our confidence has never been higher at any point in my time in New Orleans.
Quite a statement considering the Saints won Super Bowl 44 2 years ago. Well, we're here in San Francisco, home of the country's most notorious prison, Alcatraz. And this Monday, Fox presents an epic new drama from J.J. Abrams. Now, the producers have lost. For 100 years, no one had ever escaped from Alcatraz until the night they all vanished. Uncover the secret of Alcatraz. Don't miss the 2-hour premiere event this Monday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Have you ever visited Alcatraz, Goose?
Yeah, Kenny, been there quite a few times.
An invited guest.
As a visitor, exactly, thank you.
Well, the 49ers, who led by 17, it's now a 3-point game. Start from their own 20-yard line, the toss to Hunter, and Kendall Hunter takes it out across the 30-yard line for a 49ers first down.
I know that's one of the kind of running backs that drive you crazy, Tony. You lose them behind those offensive linemen.
Absolutely, but what you watch the defenders right here, they're coming up. You got to stay up on your feet. You got to stay on your feet. See the guys on the ground right there? That's exactly what the 49ers want to do. They want to get guys on the ground and let their running backs go and make cuts and get into that secondary where they can run people over.
Score in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 31. Three receiver set, Crabtree in the slot. Inside handoff to Gore, and Frank Gore takes it out to the 40-yard line for a gain of 9. His high school and collegiate teammate Jonathan Vilma made the tackle.
Watch Frank Gore right here on the inside draw. Going to pull Mike Upati around. Little jump cut back to the inside to get away from Tracy Porter.
Thing is, this San Francisco offense, they go and they pull guys as decoys sometimes, so it slows those linebackers down. You just can't go and read the guards when you see the bull think the run is going there because they do a lot of decoying.
Smith on 2nd down and 1. It is Vernon Davis who scored the game's first touchdown. 49ers tight end makes the catch at the Saints 40. Davis able to gain 20 yards.
Alex Smith showing that he's got great location with his throws as well. Pretty good coverage by Roman Harper right there, but he drops it right down. Just a little wheel route on the outside.
And keep in mind the shuffling on the 49ers offensive line with Jonathan Goodwin, the center out. Adam Snyder moves over, and Shallow Rachel is in at right guard. Smith on 1st and 10. Crabtree unable to hang on.
Nice job by that defensive line getting their hands up and deflecting that ball. That ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Now, a lot of the passes in this pass offense, Tony, are going to be quick throws, 3-step, 5-step, kind of shallow routes. So what will be important during the course of the game is you're pressuring Alex Smith, getting close to the quarterback, get those hands up.
Yeah, Sean Rogers does a nice job. He's a big guy in the middle, but when he gets his hands up, it's tough for Alex Smith. Alex isn't a real tall guy, so anything that can go and get in the way of him looking downfield helps.
Smith on 2nd and 10, looking for Crabtree again, with Patrick Robinson on the coverage.
That's something you don't expect to see. Michael Crabtree's got great hands, and he usually catches everything around him, and to have 2 in a row on consecutive plays, very uncharacteristic, especially that one. That one just goes right through the hands.
Well, they ran the ball the first couple plays, and they took some time off the clock. But these last 2 non-catches right here, you still got 2:26 on the clock.
3rd down and 10. Niners must get to the 30 for a 1st down. Smith taken down back at midfield. Pressure that Tony's been talking about all day long. And it is Roman Harper who had the sack earlier. Once again, coming from the strong safety.
He's all over this field, huh, Darryl?
He's a great box safety. Here he is, kind of patrolling the area. Now, his strength is not down the field, in deep coverage. What he is and what he does best is play as a box safety with the blitzes off the edge.
Does a nice job of delaying that blitz. Waits for the defensive lineman to clear those offensive linemen out, and then he goes, turns the speed on, comes in for the sack.
When I say a box safety, that's one of the guys that they drop down, they get in amongst the defensive line and the linebackers. And Greg Williams has said that Roman Harper, one of the better guys that he's coached through his career, when you bring him down in close to the line of scrimmage. And I think what you saw right there, Tony, is Roman Harper may have had Frank Gore in man-to-man situation, and as soon as Frank Gore locks up to block, to work in protection, here he comes. Exactly. They add an extra blitzer to the mix.
That's exactly what Greg Williams wants to do. If somebody's staying in, he wants to bring an extra guy. He always wants to bring one more than you can block when he's bringing pressure.
So following the Saints timeout, Lee waiting back at his 36-yard line, following the sack of Alex Smith by the combination of Roman Harper and Martez Wilson. End over end kick. Sproles lets it go. And it takes a Saints bounce into the end zone for a touchback with 2:14 remaining in the first half. 49ers leading by 3. Our coverage of the divisional round continues tomorrow as the New York Giants head to Lambeau Field to face Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. It all gets underway at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific tomorrow, right here on Fox.
I'm looking forward to that game as well. A rematch from earlier this year, Green Bay 38-35 over the New York Giants. But the New York Giants, in my opinion, playing as well as they have played all season right now.
Giants with the 24-2 win over the Falcons in the wild card round. Saints with 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, trailing by 3. As Breeze was hit as he got rid of the football, it's ruled an incomplete pass.
But that's some of the fundamentals that we talk about. Navarro Bowman picks up the ball, runs it into the end zone. He didn't hear a whistle at first. Hey, ball's on the ground. I don't know what they're going to say about this one.
Absolutely.
Scoop it up and go.
Especially after a couple of wacky plays involving whistles during last week's wild card games.
Exactly. Jim Harbaugh and his staff do a great job of preparing their team for all the crazy situations that can happen during the course of the game.
2nd down and 10, play clock at 2. side. Goldson able to make the tackle on Sproles after a short gain of just 2. As we hit the 2-minute warning here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, with the 49ers leading the Saints by 3.
Denver's Robert Ayers and Elvis Dumervil both sacked Pittsburgh's Ben Roethlisberger, which forced overtime, where quarterback Tim Tebow threw the game-winning touchdown pass to Demaryius Thomas in a dramatic wild-card win. From kickoff to the last yard, Chevy runs deep.
2 minutes remaining, second quarter. Divisional round matchup between Sean Payton's Saints, Jim Harbaugh's 49ers. 49ers led this game 17-0. Saints had scored touchdowns on their last 2 possessions. 3rd down and 8. Breeze looking downfield. Now he fires for Devery Henderson, and it is picked off by Terrell Brown. The 4th Saints turnover. And Brown brings it all the way back to the New Orleans 44-yard line.
I tell you what, Tony, these guys are not intimidated whatsoever by this offense. They are playing in strict man-to-man. Watch Terrell Brown, 25. He plays this perfect. He's running stride for stride, and as soon as that ball comes in, great ball skills to go up and get that.
Well, they got to check and see if he wasn't down by contact right there at the end.
See if Devery Henderson gets a hand on him while they're on the ground.
Yeah, it looks like he touched his foot right there, yeah.
And remember, we are under 2 minutes, so
1st and 10.
Everything is initiated from upstairs.
We'll place the ball at the spot of the interception based on the down by contact.
You heard the call on the field that the ball will be placed at the spot of the interception, being ruled down by contact right there. Heads-up play by Devery Henderson.
Terrell Brown does a nice job of getting his head back and timing out that pass also, Darryl. I mean, he goes and gets at the highest point.
I tell you, I am very, very impressed with the secondary of the 49ers today. We know how good this front is, you know, how well they play against the run. But I have been so impressed with Dante Whitner, Deshaun Goldson, all those guys. Terrell Brown played that perfectly right there. Carlos Rogers has had a heck of a day.
They all got their head back around, watching Drew Brees, reading his eyes and seeing where he likes to go. I mean, this team is well coached on knowing exactly what Drew Brees' favorite passes are, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're attacking those areas.
Coming into this game, Goose, in 8 career postseason games, Brees had been intercepted only twice, including none over his last 215 attempts. That was an NFL record, but the 49ers have come up with 2 picks today, 4 takeaways.
Please reset the game clock to 154 based on the down by contact. 150, thank you.
So the 49ers with a 3-point lead. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Jonathan Goodwin back in at center, so Adam Snyder kicks out to right guard. Smith on 1st down, and the pass is caught by Vernon Davis with Roman Harper climbing up his back. It's a gain of 7.
Alex Smith jumped and threw that ball, had no feet on the ground when it came out of his hand, and he threw it right in there to cover. That's something you don't want to do, is have a turnover right here.
Second down and 3 from the 37. Smith to the outside, complete to Kyle Williams for a 49ers 1st down. Williams missed the last regular season game due to a concussion. Back in the lineup today. And there's Jonathan Goodwin, who missed the last series after he was injured earlier.
And that's really important to solidify that offensive line. He brings you that veteran leadership for those young guys up front. Adam Snyder makes the transition over to center pretty easily, but you know, just remember, you know, all these guys say that he's really found a home at that right guard spot.
3 receivers set from the 43-yard line. Smith had the pass deflected. It was intended for Michael Crabtree.
Roman Harper one more time. He lines up on the outside. Alex Smith does a nice job of recognizing that he's coming. He comes, he knows Frank Gore is going to block him. He goes, gets vertical, and tips that ball right there.
But did you see Malcolm Jenkins behind him, Tony? As soon as Frank Gore blocked Roman Harper, Malcolm Jenkins released to come to add that extra blitzer to that defense.
Yep.
Smith on 2nd and 10, hands it off to Gore. Not much. Again, it's Roman Harper in on the tackle. Minute 17 remaining. For a preview of the Visa halftime report, here's Kurt.
All right, coming up on the Visa halftime report, Jimmy, Michael, Howie, and Terry will break down the first half of this game, and we'll preview the big AFC divisional matchup between Tim Tebow's Broncos and Tom Brady's Patriots. Plus, our John Lynch talks to John Fox. Jay Glazer will move out of my seat, and we'll come back for the Visa halftime.
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. Saints use their second timeout, stopping the clock at 1:17. 49ers had a 17-0 lead. Drew Brees with 2 second-quarter touchdown passes. It's now a 3-point game. 3rd down and 9 for San Francisco. '49ers must get to the Saints 47, and they do not, as Kyle Williams is tackled by Patrick Robinson. 49ers will punt it away.
Safe throw right there by Alex Smith. Obviously didn't get back or deep enough on that route, but it kept the clock going, forced the Saints to burn another timeout. And here's why we're in this position. Dante Whitner on the opening drive by the Saints, where they had gone down the field, causes the fumble there. Deshaun Goldson, a great job of reading the eyes of Drew Brees on that interception. And then right back after they score on the kickoff, Courtney Roby puts it on the ground. And then right on the last series, Terrell Brown plays it perfectly. One-on-one situation, gets another interception from Drew Brees.
So 4 Saints turnovers, which ties a season high, including the regular season. Saints have used all of their timeouts, so they will get the ball back without any timeouts remaining. Lee punting from his own 40-yard line. And a fair catch is called for by Sproles at the 15. So as Drew Brees walks the Saints offense back out, as we mentioned earlier, only 2 prior interceptions in the postseason. He's thrown 2, as well as 2 touchdown passes here in the first half.
There's one of the big reasons right there. Dante Whitmer's had an outstanding game. Everybody in the secondary for San Francisco has played very, very well. And Drew Brees had a lot of respect for him during his preparation during the week. He said that was the one big improvement I saw from last season getting ready to play the 49ers to this season.
Well, you mentioned it, Darryl, in the open. I mean, they are fundamentally sound. They tackle well. They run to the ball, and they make you earn every yard you gain on offense. And that's what this defense for the 49ers has been doing before today and today also.
Right, here's Brees looking for Colston, but he came down out of bounds. You talk about the 49ers secondary. 2 of them will be heading to the Pro Bowl, Deshaun Goldson and Carlos Rogers, as we take another look with Chris Culliver on the coverage.
Again, one of those back shoulder throws that we see from the New Orleans Saints so much, but doesn't do a good job getting his feet down and never had possession anyways.
2nd down and 10. The screen to Sproles, and it does not fool the Niners. Aldon Smith in on the tackle, a loss of 4.
I think that this is a very difficult defense to run screens against, Tony. They're so good in their pursuit. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Aldon Smith, he's coming, you know, from the opposite side. He was the left defensive end, and he recognized it and got out and made the stop.
Well, the offensive line didn't really sell it very well. They hit the guys, and then they took off. You really got to go and block those guys up front and make them feel like they really beat you. Then when they get even with you or by you, then you take off. If you let them go too early, defensive linemen are taught to sit down in their spot and turn and look at the quarterback's eyes, because he's going to tell you where that ball's going to go.
Jim Harbaugh stopped the clock using the 49ers' first timeout. 47 seconds remaining in the half. Third down and 14 for the Saints. Saints must get to the 25 for a first down. Screen to Sproles. And Sproles is tackled by Patrick Willis at the 17-yard line. So the Niners will use their second timeout, and San Francisco will get the ball back.
We're going to go to halftime. 17-14 at this point will get you caught up. Vernon Davis on a 49-yard touchdown catch. Malcolm Jenkins with the block on his teammate Roman Harbour. Michael Crabtree on the slant. They jump out 17-0. Drew Brees brings back the Saints. Jimmy Graham with a touchdown catch there, and then it's a great throw there to Marcus Colston to get 17-14.
Remember, the Saints trailed the Lions at the half last week in the wild card game, 14-10. New Orleans would score 35 points in the second half. Saints have turned the ball over 4 times so far today.
Darryl, you were on punt rush team. This is a perfect opportunity right here to bring everybody and try to get this punt blocked.
You know what? I would go return, Goose.
Really?
Yeah.
Defense, offense, see?
You got your
everybody at home. This is where it comes out. I want to go after him. Darryl wants to go and return him. Boom!
The punt by Morstead. Tangled away from the return man Williams, who scoops it up on the run and takes it to the 45-yard line. So with 29 seconds remaining, here comes Alex Smith and the San Francisco offense. They have 1 timeout.
Yeah, but they don't have to get very far. They've got David Akers. He's got a big leg. This is a pretty risky play by Kyle Williams. You better make sure that you've got the space to work that right there. He's going to save a couple of yards by not allowing that ball to hit and continue to roll, but the risk reward there.
Now, David Akers in warm-ups did hit one from 60 going in that direction, so don't have to get very far to be in field goal range.
He made 7 field goals, Goose, this season of 50-plus. He's long this year, 55. Smith with time on first down, fires downfield, out of bounds. He was looking for Kyle Williams.
There is 0 wind down here on this field, too. The flag's up at the top of the stadium. The flags are moving, but down here on the field, it is stagnant. There you go. There's the flags up at the top of the stadium. Down, not a lot of wind. It's coming off the bay right here, but there's nothing here on the field, so I don't think 60 would be a problem.
24 seconds remaining. Smith on 2nd and 10, steps up, tries to get away from pressure. He lost the football. And it is recovered by the Saints. The first 49ers turnover today.
And Alex Smith is usually very good with this as he moves up in the pocket. He usually has 2 hands on the football. He does. He takes it off right there at the last second. He took it off, and it was Martell Wilson who got in and got a hand on it. See how he goes to one hand right there. A lot of times when you see Alex Smith, he's going through, he's moving up. He's got 2 hands on that football until he breaks away. Martell Wilson, number 95, gets a hand on that, gets it knocked loose.
So now the Saints with only 17 seconds and no timeouts. Empty backfield. Sproles split out to the left.
52. Special.
Brees firing downfield on first down. Devery Henderson lost his footing.
Some incidental contact right there. Devery Henderson gets tripped up. Lucky that this one wasn't intercepted right back. He's going to work out of the slot. Breaking it now to the middle of the field. You can see him stumble right there. Dante Whitner almost had himself another interception, or his first interception.
Carlos Rogers was mugging him a little bit, got away with that.
They're playing aggressive on the outside. Yeah, it's very physical across the board.
There's John Casey, his career long, 56. See that red line at the 38-yard line? That would signify a 56-yarder. Breeze moving to his right. He's taken down, flips the football. And Breeze, it's ruled a forward pass by the referee, John Perry.
I want you to take a look at the defense that San Francisco played on that last snap. Look at all the defenders. They're building a wall. They've got the sidelines covered. They're not going to allow New Orleans to catch the ball and get out of bounds. We're going to give you the middle of the field. Right? Yeah, only rushing 3, dropping 8, but they covered the sidelines, Goose, and then they're not going to let anybody get beyond them, but they're also going to guard those sidelines because they don't want anybody to catch, run, and get out of bounds. Well, they have no timeouts. There's very little time left.
Well, they brought the clock all the way down to 4 seconds. That was smart on their part.
And now a timeout is taken by the 49ers. This is the third
final timeout, San Francisco. 30-second timeout.
And you wonder if Jim Harbaugh wants the replay booth to take a look at that last play.
Well, he was motioning for referee John Perry to come over from the start. That's why he called the timeout, and as soon as he was acknowledged to have the timeout, he motioned for John Perry to come over. It's going to be right outside the 45, just outside the 45-yard line is the initial line of scrimmage.
And it was ruled a forward pass. And remember, every part of Breeze's body must be ahead of the line of scrimmage for that to be a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, you can have just a foot behind it, and you can see right there, he's well behind it.
Yeah, both feet plus more. So this will be the final play of the first half, barring a defensive penalty. 4 seconds remaining. Saints trailing by 3. Breeze moves to his right, and then he throws it out of bounds and will keep on going to the Saints locker room. So the 49ers took a 17-0 lead, but the Saints come back with 14 points in the second quarter. Niners lead by 3 at the half. The Visa halftime report with Kurt and the guys coming up after these messages. We get set for the second half here in San Francisco with the 49ers leading the Saints by the score of 17-14. As we welcome you back, Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston. 49ers get off to a great start, their first playoff game since January of 03, but then Drew Brees, 2 touchdown passes in the second quarter, and the Saints find themselves in a pretty similar position to last week's wild card game against Detroit.
Yeah, and hopefully San Francisco, paid a lot of attention to that film. They were -2 with the turnovers last week in the first half against Detroit. Came out and had that unbelievable second half offensively. -3 this week, but still just down 3 points. So we'll have to wait and see. They play defensively much different than Detroit does, so we'll see what happens.
35 points in the second half against the Lions for the Saints. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Remember, the 49ers won the coin toss and deferred, so they will get the ball first here in the third quarter. And they will start from the 20-yard line as we take a look at the first half numbers.
Guess what's going to be the big one that pops out at you? There you go. Turnovers and points off. Now, the one thing is you hope that they didn't miss out on some opportunities there in the first half, Tony.
I'll tell you what, talk to Sean Payton coming out. He wasn't in as bad a mood as I thought he was going to be. He said, listen, we have 4 turnovers. We're down by 3 points. We're in a good position right now. He also did say Pierre Thomas is out, but he's okay. He spoke with them. So we'll address that later and find out more of the specifics.
So Thomas will not return, injured early in this game. Kyle Williams in motion as the 49ers start from their own 20-yard line. Alex Smith to the near side to Michael Crabtree. And Crabtree gains 7 before he's brought down by Tracy Porter.
You have to just come out and reestablish the rhythm that you had, when you started the game here. And let's go back to the beginning of this game when San Francisco jumped out 17-0, and you see, what this offense has done. You've got to get back into a rhythm, and it was kind of a bizarre first half. When you have turnovers and you're on short fields, you never really kind of feel like you've gotten into a rhythm. It will be critical for this Niners offense to come out and establish some type of rhythm here with this opening drive.
Second down and 3 with Isaac Sopoaga leading the way. Frank Gore gains 2 out to the 29-yard line.
Come out here in this second half. Start leaning on Frank Gore a little bit. Tony touched on it in the first half, about taking some time off this clock. You want to limit the opportunities of Drew Brees and that offense being on the field.
And that guy can wear you down also. I mean, he runs the ball as hard as anybody in this league, Frank Gore. And that's somebody that these defensive guys do not want to go and meet up in a hole on a consistent basis.
Here's Gorgoose on 3rd down and 1. Picks up the 49ers first down out to the 33-yard line.
I mean, Frank Gore has a low center of gravity when he runs. Watch him right here. He gets the ball. Look how his shoulders are in front of his legs. Boom. All his momentum is going forward. He's hit, but goes ahead for another 3 yards after first contact. That's why defensive linemen do not want to see that guy in the back.
From the 33 on first down. Smith's pass intended for Vernon Davis with Malcolm Jenkins on the coverage.
Get Alex Smith to slide a little bit out to the left. Disrupts that rhythm just a tad, but pretty good location there, and a nice play by Malcolm Jenkins coming around, getting a hand to deflect that down on a low ball. It kind of looked like it was thrown in an area where really only Vernon Davis was going to have the opportunity to make a play on the ball, but Malcolm Jenkins did a nice job getting a hand on that.
Kendall Hunter in the backfield along with the fullback Bruce Miller. On 2nd and 10, it's Hunter. Hunter met initially by Cameron Jordan and then finished off by Jolon Dunbar. Gain of just 1.
There's that job of adjusting, recognizing who's in the backfield. With Kendall Hunter, you're going to get more of an edge-style running game as opposed to between the tackles with Frank Gore. Good recognition and a good stop on that carry.
This is right where New Orleans defense wants to be. 3rd and 9. Put them in a situation where they have to throw the ball and bring the pressure. Look at the guys on the defensive line right now. You got 5 guys on that line. Guaranteed more than that are coming. And here they come.
And it's Malcolm Jenkins who wraps up Alex Smith, forcing the 49ers to punt.
They put 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. But the line, they bring more. We've talked about it in the first half. They bring more than you could block. That's exactly what Greg Williams wants to do. Here they go. They're bringing 7 guys. And like Darryl talked about, if your guy that you're going to be covering in the backfield, like if it's a Frank Gore, and he decides to block, we are coming as linebackers or as defensive backs who are supposed to be in coverage. So Malcolm Jenkins did a nice job of putting the pressure on and solidifying it with a sack.
Loss of 13. Andy Lee punting from his own 11-yard line. What a kick. Forcing Sproles back to the 22. Penalty marker. Ball came free. There's a penalty flag. Looks like the 49ers have recovered.
This would be your second special teams turnover.
Courtney Roby coughed it up earlier.
Colin Jones is walking out with it. Ryan Jennings, the long snapper.
And the only 49er who played in their last playoff game.
Let's take a look at it. Darren Sproles, that's out. Blake Costanzo might have got the hand on the ball to knock it out. Let's see. There's the first move. Gets off the body a little bit.
And no one hit it. It just
return.
fell out.
Illegal block in the back. Number 27 of the return team. The ruling on the field is also a fumble, which was recovered by the kicking team. That penalty for the illegal block in the back will be declined. 1st and 10, San Francisco.
Turnover number 5 committed by the New Orleans Saints.
That's amazing that you can go in at halftime. Feel like you've kind of dodged the bullet a little bit, Tony, with 4 turnovers, only being down 3, and then your first opportunity to have a touch on the ball, you put it on the ground again.
I don't know what Jim Harbaugh's complaining about. He's got the ball on the 26-yard line.
Hand off to Gore. Cameron Jordan the tackle after a gain of 3.
And one less possession for the New Orleans Saints. Exactly what you want. You do not want the ball in the Saints' hands. Drew Brees will go and make you pay. Every time that he has the ball in his hands, he is capable of putting 7 up on the board. That right there is exactly what San Francisco wants to see. Drew Brees on the sideline watching the game.
Second down and 7. Smith forced to throw it away after the pressure from Jordan, Saints' first-round draft pick out of Cal.
They've caught him a couple times now, Tony, in these passing situations where normally we see San Francisco run. You know, it's second and medium right here. You're expecting this defense to come at you. I would like to see them get more into that running game where they're trying to punch a hole into that blitz and separate it and try and get Frank Gore, try and get Kendall Hunter, you know, through that line of scrimmage, that first wave.
Smith on 3rd down and 7. And that pass could not be handled by Michael Crabtree.
They brought the pressure again on that one down. Did you see that?
Yeah, I tell you, Michael Crabtree's having a tough afternoon. This is his 3rd drop this afternoon. Working on the outside, number 15 gets off the jam pretty good. The release inside. That's a pretty good play also by Jabari Greer, getting some hands on that. But we have seen Michael Crabtree make some great catches. He's got strong hands at the point of the catch.
So here's David Akers, who hit from 25 yards out earlier. This a 41-yard attempt from the right hash. Andy Lee places it down. David Akers, 2 for 2. So the 49ers capitalize on the turnover, now lead by 6.
Southwest.
49ers now lead by 6. Following David Akers' second field goal today. San Francisco now with 13 points off the 5 Saints turnovers.
Yeah, you don't want to see 4-play, 3-yard scoring drives because that means you've missed an opportunity for points on that turnover. So they've generated 5 today, but they are not cashing in at this point, and it is a 1-possession game with a very, very dangerous offense getting ready to take the field.
Candlestick Park hosting its 25th postseason game, including 7 NFC championship games. You played in 2 of them, Darryl.
Great place. I always enjoyed coming out here. One of the more difficult places to play, especially in the playoff environment.
You know, talking earlier before the game, now you said the field is completely different than when you played, huh?
Yeah, that game in '92 wasn't quite as nice a day as it is today. They had a real tough game, the wild card round. They chewed the field up. They actually had to resaw it from 20 to 20 all the way across the numbers.
Brees on 1st down, hitting Sproles out of the backfield for a gain of 6. And he's tackled by Navarro Bowman.
So how Drew Brees went and found Sproles on that play is amazing. I'm standing right behind Drew Brees. The offensive linemen are standing all standing straight up. And I couldn't even see where Sproles was, and for some reason he knew exactly where he was going to be. He jumps up and he just gets the ball right to him. Didn't look that amazing probably on the television, but from down here it was.
2nd and 4 off the fake toss to Sproles. Breeze finds Marcus Colston for a first down and more. Colston takes it all the way down to the 49ers' 43-yard line. 31 yards on the catch and run.
With a little bootleg coming out to the other side. Here's Marcus Colston. He's going to be your crosser at that intermediate level all the way to the other side of the field. Watch Deshaun Goldson, number 38. He's had big plays there. Anticipates him to continue to run. Drew Brees puts it on the back shoulder and allows Marcus Colston to catch and spin out and avoid the big hit.
Drew Brees makes a great throw. It crossed his body on that play.
From the 43, the handoff to Ivory. And Ivory is tripped up by Isaac Sopoaga. Gain of 2. Getting back to Sproles for a minute. He and Brees spent one season together in San Diego before Brees left for the Saints. And during the offseason, during the lockout, Brees heavily involved as Goldson is headed to the sidelines in the recruiting of Sproles to join him in New Orleans.
Yeah, at first he thought he was kidding. You know, he just thought it was something they were having a little bit of fun with. But then once the free agency period opened up, Drew was pressing hard to get him down as a New Orleans Saint.
Brees under pressure on 2nd and 8 from Aldon Smith.
Again, it's so hard to run screen passes against this defense. Keep your eyes on Darren Sproles, number 43, going to cross the formation. The defensive linemen recognize it immediately. Navarro Bowman actually gets in and gets a hold on him.
Brees signaled timeout as he did not think he would be able to get the snap away. And then he throws it away, and Sean Payton thought that the timeout should have been granted.
He's talking to John Perry right now, the referee, that he signaled for a timeout. As soon as he threw the ball away, he turned around, and now they are granting him the timeout.
Yep. Prior to the snap, no one's called a charge timeout.
And as soon as he throws this ball away, he turns around and makes a beeline for referee John Perry. There's some multitasking right there. I got calling my timeout, but I'm ready for that ball if it comes quick.
Well, he's seen it many times where all of a sudden someone goes timeout, they don't get it, he turns his back, and that ball's on the ground. The last thing he wants is another turnover.
Drew Brees will turn 33 years of age tomorrow. His son Balin will turn 3 tomorrow.
That's why they're the #1 offense in the NFL when it comes to third downs, and they're strong in all categories. 3rd and short, the number 3, 3rd medium, number 2, 3rd and long, number 1 in the NFL.
3rd down and 8. Saints must get to the 33, and they will not, as Justin Smith wraps up Brees and takes him down.
I mean, Justin Smith on the line of scrimmage. There's only 2 defensive linemen in there in a 3-point stance. Watch him on the left. He loops around from a 2-point stance. Nobody sees him, and just comes scot-free and makes the sack.
So Thomas Morstead, who did not punt in the game last week against Detroit, punting for the 3rd time today. Ted Ginn Jr. on the return. Out to the 19-yard line. What a story. Justin Smith, his 11th season, going to his 3rd consecutive Pro Bowl.
The listings. Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Verizon. Call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile only from Verizon.
Good job by the 49ers defense. There's defensive line coach Jim Tomsula. Justin Smith with the sack. And now 49ers go back to work on offense from the 19-yard line, leading by 6. This is Ted Ginn Jr. Jonathan Vilma.
Jonathan Vilma, heard you say that. He had a beeline. Again, boy. That's the way you finish a tackle off. There's Ted Ginn right here. He hops over. Jonathan Vilma, catches him right at the right time. Should have wrapped his hands a little better, right, Darryl? But other than that, he did a pretty good job.
If they're going to the ground, it's not necessary.
Ginn did gain 3, now 2nd and 7. The toss to Frank Gore. Back to the quarterback, Smith, who lost the football and will stay down back at the 16-yard line. Ross of 6 on the play.
I don't know where that play came from, but the whistle was not blown after he dropped the ball there. So
it's behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
You watch where Frank Gore throws the ball. He's almost right on that line.
That was a backwards pass. So that ball is live right there. Don't really like the form right. I mean, not a bad spiral, almost a spiral. Got to work on the jugs machine there, Alex Smith. Looks like a fullback.
Easy.
Now on 3rd and 13. Here's Smith moving to his left. Now he throws, and Jolan Dunbar able to make the tackle on Gore. So the 49ers go 3 and out. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL Now.
Well, the Niners have yet to get into any type of rhythm offensively. I mean, their best play here in the second half has been the punt and the recovery of a fumble. And I would like to see them commit to the run a little bit more. I mean, I understand you want to have some gadgets, but I don't know if that was the time and place for one.
Darren Sproles back deep for the Saints. End over end kick. Sproles will let it bounce and roll and continue to roll. And it will be down at the 14-yard line. 62 yards on the. Saints have turned the ball over 5 times today. The last team to win with 5 turnovers in the postseason, the 82 Jets. They beat the LA Raiders 17-14. Yes, Howie Long did play. In fact, he had a sack in the game, but the Jets won despite 5 turnovers.
Yeah, but you saw only 14 points, and how do you know how many were generated off those turnovers? Very similar to here, 5 turnovers with only 13 points generated.
Breeze with loads of time. Now moving to his left. And he finally throws, and it is broken up, nearly picked off by Goldson.
Darryl, you talked about that secondary. They had everybody wrapped up. There was nowhere for Drew Brees to go with this ball.
And I can't tell you how hard that is, Tony, when the play breaks down and you get into a scramble drill. Now everybody's just kind of ad-libbing. I'm gonna come, I'm deep, I'm going shallow. I was shallow, I'm gonna turn around and go deep. I was on the left side of the field. I'm moving to the right to try and get into my quarterback's line of vision. And yet these guys went step for step with all the receivers that the Saints were throwing at them.
2nd and 10. Breeze to the air once again. The catch is made for a first down. Taken out to the 34-yard line by Devery Henderson for a gain of 19.
Just a quick slant thrown perfectly to allow your receiver to run after the catch. There's the separation on the release, finds that window.
Breeze has connected with 9 different receivers today. He's 26 of 39. This time the Saints keep it on the ground with Ivory. Remember, Pierre Thomas injured early. He will not return, and Ivory gains 7 out to the 40.
Last week, and then again what's happened today, turnovers playing a big role in both the playoff games. They were able to overcome them with that unbelievable second half last week against the Lions.
Breeze on 2nd and 3, complete for a first down to the tight end, Jimmy Graham in 49ers territory. 13-yard pass play.
Good location with the throw by Drew Brees down low, away from Navarro Bowman, who's playing on the inside.
4 minutes remaining, third quarter. 49ers led 17-0. It's now a 6-point game. 3 set of downs for the Saints from the 49ers' 48-yard line. Off the fake to Ivory. Brees going deep for Arrington, and it's broken up at the last instant by Carlos Rogers.
Tremendous play right there by Carlos Rogers.
Working on Adrian Arrington, number 87, playing that outside leverage. Now the break to the middle. Look at the closing speed, how Carlos Rogers closes that gap, and then the hand-to-eye right at the point of the catch.
After 6 seasons with the Redskins, Rogers has had his best year, and he will be a starter in the Pro Bowl.
He's earned it. He has played very well all season long, generating some interceptions this year, which he struggled with throughout his career.
Brees on 2nd and 10. Bobbled and dropped by Graham with Willis in the vicinity.
You're not going to get 2 opportunities against this defense. They play coverage way too tight. Patrick Willis.
What they're doing really well is they're getting pressure with 4 guys up on the line of scrimmage, something they didn't do in the first half.
Timeout is taken by the 49ers. 3rd down and 10 for the Saints when we return. Chance of defense from the crowd. 3rd down and 10 for the Saints. Brees, quick release on 3rd and 10, and the pass intended for Arrington. Again, it is Rogers on the coverage.
Interesting choice in a critical situation. Adrian Arrington, the go-to guy here the last couple of snaps. Carlos Rogers, tight coverage again. Has that hand right in there on the release to be able to knock this ball out.
They're letting these guys play.
So 2 great plays by Rogers. We mentioned he will start the Pro Bowl. That, of course, is if the 49ers do not make it to the Super Bowl. Pro Bowl the week before. Fair catch is called for at the 15-yard line by Ted Ginn. Well, this month, FX and Fox are your home for exciting live UFC action with more than 10 epic fights on 3 incredible nights featuring some of the sport's best up-and-coming fighters as well as title contenders looking to earn their shot at the belt and their place in history. A full month of outstanding UFC events continues tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific with the UFC 142 prelims on FX.
I'd like to see San Francisco on this drive come out and kind of get back to what they are. Commit to the run a little bit here. They've been a little bit fancy here the first couple of drive opportunities in the second half.
They start from the 15-yard line. Smith throws on 1st down. It's the fullback, Miller. And Bruce Miller stays on his feet and then is finally tackled after a gain of 15.
This is what you're able to do. You come out, you throw play action. Bruce Miller, the fullback, you're running it right into the face of a blitz. Frank Gore gets you the block. You're turned loose into the flat. Catch and run for a 1st down.
They never expect that fullback out in the flat to catch the ball right there, but little do they know, Darryl.
Especially Goose when he was defensive end at Central Florida, 2-time Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year.
That's what I was going to say. He had to be a defensive player. They're all athletes on that defensive side.
From the 31, it's Hunter. And Hunter is tackled by the combination of Tom Johnson and Shawn Rogers.
This Saints defense has done a heck of a job today because, you know, they've been put in some tough situations during the course of the game with the turnovers, and they've played really well here in the second half. Greg Williams' group has come out and really set a tone here.
They're doing a great job of when they're bringing the blitz, they're coming, they're making things happen. When the big play happens off the blitz, they're just getting back up, lining up, and they're coming right back at him again. That's what I like about it.
Play clock at 2. 49ers get the snap away from the 31-yard line. And some miscommunication, and now a flag. Contact was made.
Looks like it's going to be on the offense.
Ted Ginn Jr. saying, what did I do?
Pass interference, offense. Number 19. Penalty's been declined. Result in the play, 3rd down.
See if they tried to do a little bit of a rub at the top.
Yeah, that's an illegal pick right there. You can't do that. Really bad when the receiver goes Darryl and puts his arms up like he's checking them. At least run through and make it a little less conspicuous.
Yeah, you run at the defender and you change his path, so he has to either bubble over the top or come underneath you, but you can't make contact. Now Ted Ginn went down. Looks like he may have some cramping issues going on.
So Ted Ginn Jr., who was flagged on the previous play. 49ers medical staff out to take a look.
Another thin at wide receiver on the San Francisco offense, and he's one of your big return guys, so he's been doing a lot of running during the course of the game this afternoon.
49ers lost Josh Morgan earlier in the season. They released Braylon Edwards.
Doesn't look like a cramp, guys. Looks like he's grabbing his right knee.
'49ers not charged with a timeout here because we are not under 2 minutes in the 4th quarter.
Looks like he's got a lot of fluid on his knee, Tony.
That's the patella there moving back and forth. I know because I've had many doctors move mine.
You become an expert.
Well, they're checking for stability. When you get it done 40 times, Kenny, you sort of ask a lot of questions.
Now remember, on that pass interference call on the previous play, he got tangled up and kind of fell awkwardly.
Yeah, he tripped over
the top of the defender. I wonder if he twisted it as he went down to the ground.
Let's take a look at it right here.
He's going to be off the top of the screen. No, out of the slot, number 19.
Now he's going for the block.
See if it gets tied up in there.
Right there, he could have twisted it right there.
Or kicked in the back by Jabari Greer.
Good to see him walking off on his own power, though.
So Ginn off to the sidelines. 49ers scored 14 points, gained 96 yards in the 1st quarter. Only 6 points and less yardage 6. Smith on 3rd down and 10. And there is a flag.
They did the same play again. They ran another pick on the outside, almost identical to the play they ran with Ted Ginn when he got the pass interference call.
Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver this time.
Pass interference, offense, number 10. Penalties declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
Well, we've been talking about the fundamentals of the 49ers, and right now there's something fundamentally wrong with this play that they're trying to run right here. Kyle Williams has just got a release. You can't make contact.
He comes back for the defender. That's what he did wrong. He went past him, and then he saw that he was past the defender, and he came back to block him. You can't put your hands up like that.
Lee's kick end over end. Pretty good field position for the Saints, who trail by 6.
Well, they got off to a great start with the turnovers, but since that time when they were up 17-0, they really haven't been in to get in any type of a rhythm. Another turnover, actually turnover on their own. Michael Crabtree's had a tough afternoon, had a couple of drops, and now you try and get fancy, get out of your element. That's a backward pass that Alex Smith has to get down and recover on. So I tell you, it's just since that first quarter, Alex Smith and his offense have not been able to establish any type of rhythm here offensively. And let's give some credit to the Saints defense. They've been asked to do some tough duty today because of the turnovers, and they've stood up strong.
Now it's the Saints offense back to work, trailing by 6. Breeze with time. Now he throws complete to Sproles. And Darren Sproles picks up 12 yards and a Saints first down.
Just allowing Drew Brees to hold the ball a little bit too long here in this situation. You're only going to rush 3 on this occasion. You're going to drop 8 back into coverage, and you're kind of hanging around the line of scrimmage. And if you do that, eventually Drew Brees is going to find somebody open down the field.
And 10 times he has found Darren Sproles today. 10 receptions, 56 yards. Here's Ivory. Works his way across midfield into 49ers territory. Second down and 5 for the Saints, who have never won a playoff game on the road. They are 0-4. Of course, they did win Super Bowl 44 down in South Florida at a neutral site. Breeze a punt fake on 2nd and 5. Now he throws another first down. It's Devery Henderson at the 39-yard line, a gain of 7 as time winds down in this third quarter. 49ers led 14-0 after 1. 17-14 at the half. A David Akers field goal accounting for the only points in the third quarter. So after 3 here in San Francisco, it's the 49ers leading the Saints by 6. Well, the Saints with 5 turnovers today, 49ers +4. In postseason history, teams with a +4 turnover margin are 71-1.
I have to ask the question, Kenny. Who is the one?
Baltimore Colts, 1977. An overtime loss, 37-31 to the Oakland Raiders. Ken Stabler hit Dave Casper in overtime for the win. We start the fourth quarter with the 49ers leading by 6. Breeze complete to Marcus Colston.
This Saints team trying to get into their rhythm. We've talked about San Francisco being out of sync, but again, the confidence that this group has and to watch them respond and just stay in control. Never been any panic from the New Orleans Saints, even with all the turnovers they've had today.
Second down and 1. Ivory picks up a first down to the San Francisco 26.
Talking about Chris Ivory, the guys on his team, they got a little nickname for him, Kenny. You know what it is? I know you know. It's Baby Brontosaurus.
Like that.
Yeah, that's a nice name. I mean, he runs hard and just keeps running.
Breeze steps up and throws. The pass is short. Intended for Jimmy Graham.
It's one of the things that San Francisco has done well today is they have kept the middle of the field clogged up. Here's Justin Smith and Ricky Jean-Francois. They bring Patrick Willis around on the loop inside. They haven't allowed Drew Brees to step up and make the throws that we normally see. They've kept that clogged up. They've challenged Carl Nicks and Jari Evans on that Saints offensive line the majority of the afternoon.
Second and 10. Ivory. Tackle back at the 29-yard line by Ahmad Brooks.
Well, he just cut the wrong way. A lot of pressure on that defense line. They did a good job of penetrating, pushing that offensive line back. Ivory tries to cut to the outside, but that was not the right choice. Ahmad Brooks right there for a form tackle on him.
Pass get to the 17 for a first down. As Breeze fires, looking for Colston, and it deflects off his hands. Reggie Smith on the coverage.
Another one of the seam routes, going straight up. Marcus Colston, the inside guy in the trips formation. Reggie Smith reads it well, sees Drew Brees' eyes, and arrives just as the ball does.
So the Saints send out the field goal unit. 42-year-old John Casey in his 21st season. A 48-yard attempt from the right hash. Casey from 48. His kick is good. And the Saints pull to within 3 here in San Francisco. Early fourth quarter here in San Francisco as John Casey connects on the longest field goal in Saints postseason history, a 48-yarder, pulling New Orleans to within 3. '49ers led this game 17-0 early in the second quarter. Breeze with a pair of touchdown passes in that second quarter. Kendall Hunter on the return. And Hunter takes it out across the 25 to the 28-yard line.
Well, time for the San Francisco 49er offense to establish some type of rhythm, get out here and control the ball a little bit. The big play in the second half here so far is the fumbled punt by Darren Sproles. But other than that, Alex Smith and his offense have not been able to establish any type of rhythm. This is a critical possession right here for San Francisco.
Alex Smith making his first postseason start. His 7th season in the National Football League. First overall pick back in 2005. Start from the 28-yard line with a 3-point lead. Pass is caught by Crabtree, who gains 5 out to the 33.
Still sticking with that pass, Darryl. Really surprised.
Short passing game, a little quick passing game, Tony. You know, that's okay. You don't want to become ultra conservative. Just get something that gets you in and out of the huddle and get you rhythm. But you have to give credit to Greg Williams and his defense here. They've played very well here in the second half, really all game, with the turnovers that the offense and special teams has had this afternoon. They've been in some tough spots and have played really well.
49ers under 200 yards of total offense. 186 to this point. As Smith hands it off to Gore. And Gore able to gain a yard out to the 35-yard line. Setting up third down and a long 3.
I don't know, it seems like the last 2 or 3 possessions they've been in that third and long situation. They just haven't found anything that's really working offensively. I mean, right here they're at 3rd and 4. You know, the run game hasn't really been working for them, maybe the short pass, but they have to get or go and put a little bit of a drive together to work this clock a little bit. Still, you know, just under 12 minutes left on the clock.
Only 2 first downs in the second half for the 49ers as that pass is deflected by Kyle Williams and then nearly picked off by Patrick Robinson.
Yeah, Patrick Robinson, a great opportunity to make a huge play for his team. Watch Kyle Williams on the release right here as he comes underneath. Catchable ball. You've got to make that catch in the middle of the field. He is very, very lucky that Patrick Robinson did not intercept this pass here.
I mean, it couldn't have been any easier. I mean, it lands right in his hands. All he has to do is pull the ball to his body.
Remember what Greg Williams told us? He said our guys cannot catch the football on defense. We had only 9 interceptions all season. Robinson had 4 of the 9. What a kick by Andy Lee, taken at the 5 by Sproles. C.J. Spillman, first Niner in on the tackle, a 61-yard punt. Back in San Francisco with producer Barry Landis, director Michael Frank, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Early fourth quarter, 49ers lead the Saints by 3. From the 18-yard line, play action. action on first down. Justin Smith with pressure on Breeze, and Breeze able to throw it away.
He has just not been comfortable in the pocket really all afternoon. Justin Smith with the twist on the outside, they don't get him sealed. He splits it. Normally, when they're running that twist, he's occupying everybody and he's allowing his teammates to get to the quarterback. Paris Harrelson was going to come free, but he and Justin got free through Breeze.
They only brought 4 guys on that. There's the linebackers are right behind them, but only brought 4 of the defensive linemen. Ran a little stuck, but that's what they're using.
Breeze on second and 10. Down he goes. Back at the 9-yard line, Ahmad Brooks with the sack.
I tell you, this is impressive. This San Francisco D-line has really taken control of the line of scrimmage. You're bringing pressure from the outside with Terrell Brown, and then Ahmad Brooks comes free on the inside.
Breeze on third down and 17. Again, it's Justin Smith with the pressure.
How relentless is Justin Smith? I mean, he's pushing Jermon Bushrod back, but he's still on his feet. He leaps up over the top of Jermon Bushrod and gets a handle on Drew Brees.
You're exactly right, Cal. Here at the bottom of the screen, he just goes and bull rushes him right here, takes Bushrod all the way back, and then grabs Brees by the jersey. Reaches over, grabs him. Breeze cannot go and step into the throw. That's why it was short.
Jim Harbaugh said this week Justin Smith is our team's most valuable player. His 4th season in San Francisco as the punt sails out of bounds. 171 consecutive starts. Tremendous game here today. Ready for dinner, Goose?
Yes, I am.
49ers get the ball back at their own 36-yard line. 10.5 remaining, 4th quarter. 3-point San Francisco lead. Inside handoff on first down to Frank Gore, and Gore breaks free. He's inside the 30, and Tracy Porter finally brings him down at the 22-yard line as Gore picks up 42 yards.
There you go, the quick handoff inside, and Tony's talked about how low he runs with the ball. You're going to punch a hole into this front, you pull your body around. Look at the small seam that he hits. Malcolm Jenkins has an opportunity to make a play for about a 7-yard gain, misses the tackle, and Frank Gore is sprinting into your secondary.
That's one thing we haven't seen from the San Francisco 49ers defense is missed tackles, and we've seen a bunch from the New Orleans side.
From the 22, the toss to Kendall Hunter in for Gore after the 42-yard run. And Hunter gains 4 down to the 18-yard line.
Now, somebody that doesn't get a lot of credit for his ability as a blocker is Vernon Davis, 85. This is on the long run by Frank Gore. Comes out, he gets the block there, continues down the field. We think of Vernon Davis as kind of a matchup guy in the passing game, but he's also a very good blocker at the point of attack.
Second down and 6, Justin Smith in with the 49ers offense. The handoff to Anthony Dixon, his first carry today. So both Smith and Sopoa get in on offense, which we saw on a play earlier as well.
Well, you know, as a defensive lineman, if you see a defensive tackle or end on the other side playing offense, you know they're going to go on one, because as soon as he hears that snap count, he is firing off. That's exactly what they did. You know, you're never going to get that hard count or that, 2 or 3. They're going to go on one every single time.
And just remember, during the course of the season, Goose, San Francisco has run some gadgets with those big guys in the backfield.
Yep.
Third down and 6. And the pass is knocked down, and then Gore takes it to the 19-yard line.
And nobody could find the ball. Alex Smith was looking. Everybody was looking. Take a look at this. Alex Smith drops back, goes to throw. Knocked down by Malcolm Jenkins. Right to
Joe Staley got a piece of it.
Staley headbutts it over to Gore. Gore goes, takes it up, and heads upfield.
That's a reception for Gore. And here's David Akers, 2 for 2 today. A 37-yard attempt from the right hash. Lee places it down. Akers with his left foot is now 3 for 3. So midway through this fourth quarter, 49ers back up by 6.
Here's this Monday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
You saw that ball bouncing around, and fortunately for the 49ers, it bounced to Frank Gore, and Jim Harbaugh knows how important that was.
Woo. And he knows that was a close one.
Points are at a premium, especially in a game like this. And that would have given you missed an opportunity for 3 points if that ball bounces the Saints' way.
Still only one possession right there, Darryl.
I know.
Six-point lead for the Niners. 7.5 to play, fourth quarter. Darren Sproles.
They have been solid on the coverage teams, Darryl, huh?
Well, they certainly have to, and despite 5 turnovers, Darryl, the Saints with a chance to take the lead.
Oh, it's surprising, and, you know, you generate the turnovers, but you're not doing anything with them, so you find yourself in a position right now, and it's kind of scary because this Saints team has so much confidence in their offense. They've been playing with it for about 9 weeks. You saw what happened last week after a sluggish first half against Detroit. Similar situation with the turnovers. Came out and were explosive. This is a much different defense for the San Francisco 49ers, so this is going to be exciting as we get down to the end here.
A defense coordinated by Vic Fangio, longtime assistant coach in New Orleans back in the 80s and 90s. They forced 5 turnovers. They have 3 sacks today. Now Breeze back to work as he dumps it off out to the 22-yard line for Sproles. Bowman made the tackle, gain of just 1.
I'll tell you what, one thing that San Francisco has done is they really went and did a great job of going and forcing Drew Brees to throw those underneath routes. Really haven't seen a lot of downfield throws, the big bombs for the giant plays to Colston. They've really corralled him very well here in this game.
Love the Tigers.
Thank you very much, Kenny. Good job.
Second down and 9. Here's Breeze. And that pass nearly picked off by Deshaun Goldson. 3rd and long upcoming.
And they are doing a great job of recognizing the concepts. And when you play against an offense like New Orleans, by formation, by personnel, certain things come out of it. Deshaun Goldson has done such a great job this afternoon of seeing that formation and jumping plays.
First down for the Saints. Devery Henderson makes the catch after Breeze had been 0 for his last 5. It's a gain of 12 as the Saints move the chains.
But it's a good play call because you get Drew Brees off his normal spot. Devery Henderson working the sideline. You roll Drew Brees out to that side. The last couple of passing situations, San Francisco has done a great job of getting to the point where that ball comes out. Sean Payton changes the launch point, and Drew Brees has a clear line of sight down to Devery Henderson.
We approach 6 minutes remaining. Empty backfield for the Saints, who trail by 6. And the pass is caught for another first down by Colston. It's his 8th reception. He's over 100 yards for the day. He gains 11.
All these receivers across the board have such a good feel for when they get down the field into the zone coverages of where to slide to get into those open windows.
First and 10 from the 46-yard line. And Empty backfield once again for New Orleans. Pass is caught at midfield by Robert Meacham for a gain of 4.
They still have that tempo from early in the game, Tony. It doesn't matter what's transpiring on the field. They are an up-tempo offense, always trying to keep the pressure on the defense.
Well, they're going on the first count. They're not, giving a false count, trying to get information, see who's coming. He's getting up there and he's running the play and getting it out there. When he sees something he doesn't like, he'll go and change it like he's doing right now. But that ball's coming out.
Breeze on 2nd and 6, and the catch is made by Sproles. Goldson wrestles him out of bounds. Gain of 5, and that is Sproles' 12th reception today.
Well, this shows you how confident they are with their tackling, because you're going to have Deshaun Goldson coming from the safety spot. He's man-to-man on Darren Sproles coming out of the backfield. You miss that tackle, that's a long run down the sideline.
Nothing but green down that sideline.
3rd down and 1, the handoff to Sproles. And Darren Sproles picks up a Saints first down. Saints on the move, trailing by 6. Breeze 56 pass attempts today. He's 35 of 56. His 9th straight 300-yard game. From the San Francisco 44, off the play fake. Breeze to the outside, too high, intended for Meacham.
They're doing such a good job, and we just saw the graphic up there. The throws more than 20 yards down the field. The reason that they haven't been doing it very much this afternoon is the coverage. Watch what San Francisco does. Marcus Colston's going deep downfield. Devery Henderson deep downfield. Look at the defender, stride for stride. He's forced to check it down to the outside.
They put so much pressure on Breeze that he really does not feel comfortable in that pocket. It's not like he's just sitting there and trying to pick him apart. Downfield, he's moving. He's concerned about that pressure.
Play clock at 2, 2nd and 10 from the 44. Sproles makes the catch. First down and more. Inside the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Darren Sproles. 44 yards.
That is the stress that the Saints offense puts on you, that have so much talent in their skill positions that they're just one play away. We saw this earlier in this drive out to the flat. Deshaun Goldson is going to have Darren Sproles in man-to-man coverage coming from the deep safety spot. Up, he's at the other, the shallow one. He's not there in time. One missed tackle, and he's into the end zone.
Jimmy Graham also does a great job downfield of making the block to spring Sproles to make that touchdown.
And John Casey connects on the extra point. The New Orleans Saints have their first lead today.
Take a look right here at Jimmy Graham downfield. He knows he's not getting the ball. He sees the completion. Turn, head on a swivel. Look at his block right there. Boom! That right there is a cake. Opens up. That's on Terrell Brown. And Sproles just has a clear path to the end zone.
For Darren Sproles, his 13th reception today, and that ties an NFL postseason record. Kellen Winslow, Thurman Thomas, Shannon Sharp, and Chad Morton are joined by Darren Sproles. 13 receptions in one postseason game. Drew Brees has thrown for 370 yards and 3 touchdowns.
There's just such a quiet sense of confidence with this group, playing as poorly as they had, early in the game, turnovers on offense, turnovers on special teams, but they're unflappable. They have so much confidence that they can always get themselves back into the game.
They did it last week with touchdowns on 5 consecutive possessions, 35 second-half points against the Lions. Saints trail this game 17-0. They now lead by 1. The winner of this game will advance to the NFC Championship game next Sunday against the winner of the Packers and the Giants, who will play tomorrow on Fox.
That's going to be another fantastic game.
Tell you what, the last time they played, that was a close game.
Left too much time on the clock for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Absolutely, but I'll tell you what, that defense of the New York Giants is playing way better than I ever thought they were going to play.
Running game's hitting their stride now too, Tony.
Yeah, they really are. Those two guys in the backfield are playing tremendous.
Giants peaking at the right time. 49ers with 4:02 remaining. They trail by a point. Alex Smith to Kendall Hunter on first down. And Hunter takes it out to the 32-yard line for a gain of 12.
Good decision by Alex Smith on that play. They had two receivers deep down the field. If they're not there, just check it down. Let Kendall Hunter see if he can make something happen underneath.
Three and a half to play, fourth quarter. From the 33-yard line. Smith's pass was batted back.
Tell you what, that defensive line has done a great job all day long with batting balls down. Here, watch Franklin there in the middle. Jordan getting push. Seeing Alex Smith is going to go and release the ball. Get their hands up and tipping the ball and knocking him down. That's a huge play.
Smith on 2nd and 10. And a catch is made. What a catch by Vernon Davis. At the Saints' 30-yard line, a 37-yard completion.
What a throw by Alex Smith. Vernon Davis, very athletic at the tight end spot, split out wide, working against Malcolm Jenkins. It's just a straight go route. Look at the location of this throw. Fantastic.
So the 49ers are in field goal range for David Akers. Just over 3 minutes remaining. The toss to Gore on 1st and 10 from the 30. And Gore gains 4 down to the 26-yard line.
This is going to be the tough spot right here. This is a grinded out style offense.
Now to look at David Akers. He is 3 for 3 so far today.
You're going to start taking a look at the clock to manage it. So if the field goal is successful at this point, that you've got time left on the clock for the Saints.
Second down and 6. Kendall Hunter. Hunter down to the 23-yard line. And now a timeout is taken by the Saints. They stop the clock with 2:18 remaining. New Orleans with 1 timeout plus the 2-minute warning.
In this Saints defense, Smith finally have the drive we've been waiting for here the entire second half. Follow up that huge throw to Vernon Davis down the sideline. We've talked about complementary football when you look at the 49ers. They have done it again today, generated turnovers, moved the ball efficiently from time to time here on the offense, relied on special teams. It's all coming down to the last 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
This is huge right here. 3rd and 2.
49ers had 12 men in the offensive huddle.
12 men in the huddle. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Bruce Miller tried to race off to the sideline, but the officials caught on, and the 49ers are penalized.
Wow, that's huge.
There's Bruce Miller, 49 in there right now. He probably hears the formation. Justin Peele trying to let him know. And those are the two guys that have kind of alternated back and forth, fullback, tight end.
Alex Smith tries to get out there.
Saw the Saints defenders pointing it out. By the way, the Saints have not committed a penalty today. How about that?
That's impressive.
And now the Niners take a timeout. Some confusion following the penalty for 12 men in the offensive huddle. And now the Niners use their second timeout.
Uncharacteristic right here. I mean, Greg Williams talked about Jim Harbaugh and how impressed he was with how he manages the clock during the course of the game. And that's the call on the 12 men in the huddle.
You can read Harbaugh's lips. He's saying we only had 10. So with 2:18 remaining, each team down to one timeout. Saints lead by 1. 3rd down and 7 from the New Orleans 27-yard line. 49ers empty the backfield. Smith on 3rd down. He will take it himself for a 1st down and more. Alex Smith is in. Touchdown.
Jim Harbaugh's got to get everybody refocused because they need to go for 2 points here on the conversion. What a great play call by Greg Roman, and what a tremendous job by Kyle Williams, the wide receiver who came in motion and put the crackback block on. Watch him coming in from the left side. He cracks Cameron Jordan, the defensive end, and they've got a train out in front. Big Joe Staley downfield with a block that lets Alex Smith walk in. He gets close to the sideline. Does he stay in the whole time?
Remember, every scoring play is reviewed.
But now, after that emotional play,
going to be reviewed.
You got to get everybody back on task and get ready for a 2-point conversion to make this a 7-point game. What a great play call.
A career-long 28-yard run by Alex Smith. Certainly looks like he stayed in bounds. Referee John Parry taking a look at it.
How about that? Everybody buying into this. Kyle Williams motioning in and cracking a big defensive end that gets Alex Smith the corner, and then he's got Joe Staley out in front of him.
So Alex Smith with the 28-yard touchdown run to give the 49ers the lead.
Let's check the formation. We've had issues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11 on the offense. They're still in review right now. Michael Crabtree with a great block on Tracy Porter.
Reviewing the play. Confirmed as a touchdown.
So the call stands. It is a touchdown, longest rushing touchdown by a 49ers quarterback in postseason history. Alex Smith's career has been well documented. 7 offensive coordinators in 7 seasons. His first trip to the postseason. And now the 49ers leading by 5 will go for 2. Try and make this a 7-point game. Off to Gore, and he is stopped on the two-point conversion attempt. So the 49ers lead remains 5.
Inaudible at the line of scrimmage by Alex Smith, changes it to a run. The underneath handoff, Adam Snyder pulling. Again, nice job by the New Orleans Saints defensive front. They had everything bottled up over there.
Alex Smith, the first overall pick back in 2005. Remember Aaron Rodgers waiting in the green room. He was not chosen until 24th overall by the Green Bay Packers. There was speculation as to who would go number 1, and the 49ers with Mike McCarthy as their offensive coordinator went with Alex Smith. Missed the entire 2008 season. His 7 offensive coordinators, including Norv Turner and Mike Martz. This season, 13-3 record, threw for over 3,000 yards, and he is 2 minutes 11 seconds away from a trip to the NFC Championship game.
Just great resiliency by Alex Smith. During the course of the beginning of his career, could have broke a lot of guys, but he's hung in there. He's had a great season this year.
He's got some thick skin, I'll tell you what. He's just rebounded unbelievably. I'll tell you what, he's having a lot of fun. When we got a chance to meet with him, he was smiling from ear to ear. He was so happy to be in his first postseason game. Great to see guys like that to come back.
And he has really benefited from the coaching of Jim Harbaugh, former quarterback. Spent so much time together during the short training camp, preseason, in the meeting room, film room, on the practice field. And here's Darren Sproles on the return, and he is tackled back at the 12-yard line by Colin Jones, a rookie out of TCU.
He's had a nice day on special teams. Coming in, stumbling, still breaks down, able to wrap up Darren Sproles. Just another example of the complementary football, the way San Francisco plays. All 3 phases, offense, defense, special teams, all functioning together.
I'll tell you what, this team tackles like no other I've ever seen. Fundamentally unbelievable, this team.
So the New Orleans Saints with 2:08 on the clock, down by 5. Start from their own 12-yard line. Breeze with a quick release, hits Sproles. And Sproles takes it out to the 22. Goldson on the tackle, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning here in San Francisco. The winner will move on to the NFC Championship game. 49ers lead by 5.
Fox.
30 years ago this week here at Candlestick Park, NFC Championship game, drive, the catch, Montana to Clark, and now Drew Brees looking to do his best Joe Montana imitation.
Or will it stand with Alex Smith as the run?
Which gave the 49ers this 5-point lead. Saints with 1 timeout from the 22. Brees throws. Terrell Brown on the coverage. Pass was intended for Marcus Colston.
What San Francisco has been able to do effectively all day long is been able to make Drew Brees uncomfortable in the pocket with just their 4 down, which allows them to have 7 back in coverage, and that secondary has played outstanding all afternoon.
Tell you what, Justin Smith, they're lining him up all over the place. He's looping, he's bull rushing, he is bringing pressure. What an unbelievable game he's having.
Brees on 2nd and 10, his 61st pass attempt. That's a new club record in the postseason, and the catch is made by Marcus Colston. Gain of 12 and a Saints first down.
And what you have to guard against here is what you have all day long. This group of skill players, Drew Brees as quarterback and his wide receivers that have been together for so long, have such a great feel. You've got to play tight coverage. You've got to challenge every single throw.
A minute 48 remaining. Saints need a touchdown. From their own 34-yard line, empty backfield. Brees throws. Jimmy Graham makes the catch inside the 30. And Graham is inside the 10. And he takes it all the way for a Saints go-ahead touchdown. 66 yards from Brees to Graham.
heard Terry Bradshaw say at halftime that he saw a throw that he would have never made as a quarterback. This might be another one right here. I mean, you got Patrick Willis tight underneath. You got safety help with Dante Whitner behind him, and he still throws it to Jimmy Graham, who makes a heck of a catch.
Dante Whitner had an opportunity to make the tackle and give his defense another chance, but decided to go for the ball, and that's what sprung Jimmy for the touchdown.
I agree, Tony. I think he got caught between make the tackle or go for the pick.
Yeah, in that situation, you cannot go for the ball. When you have a guy underneath you, you got to go and make that tackle and get Jimmy Graham down.
Now the Saints will go for two. Try and take a three-point lead, and they do as Breeze hits Darren Sproles for the two-point conversion. It is now 32-29, New Orleans.
Nice play design. You're going to get Darren Sproles out right to the flat real quick. You've got a pick coming in from the outside. They do it the right way. You just come in and you cloud releases, and you get him out to the flat untouched. This is a group, as an offense, that has so much confidence in everybody that they will take shots, take chances that most people won't. Look at the coverage on Jimmy Graham. I mean, that is just unbelievable confidence by Drew Brees in his tight end that he's going to go up and either make the catch or not allow anybody on that defense to make the big interception.
Second touchdown for Graham today for Brees. His third career 400-yard game in the postseason, and that is a new NFL record. There have been 3 touchdowns scored in the last 2 minutes, 25 seconds. First Sproles, then Smith, and now Graham.
A lot of time left in this game, Darryl. Minute 37.
You ain't kidding, and we've got the all-pro kicker on the other team.
3-point differential. Kyle Williams on the return. Keep in mind, of course, should the 49ers tie this game, the overtime rules, which were introduced in the postseason last year, which came into play for the first time last weekend in Denver.
And Sean Payton sat down with his team getting ready for Detroit, went over the new rules that would be in play in the postseason, and actually talked to them about, here's what our approach is going to be. Here's our mentality if we go to overtime during the course of the postseason.
So now the 49ers with a minute 32 remaining. They led by 5 moments ago, now trail by 8. 32-29, New Orleans. As Smith throws, complete to Gore. And Gore takes it out to the 22-yard line. Remember the 49ers with 1 timeout.
That's a lot of time at the line of scrimmage.
Smith over the middle to Gore on 2nd and 3. And Gore takes it out to the 33-yard line for a Niners first down. Remember, Akers' season long is 55, so the 49ers would need to get to approximately the 37-yard line of the Saints. As Smith goes deep, but it's off the hand of the intended receiver, Brett Swain.
Well, that was close. Brett Swain at the bottom of your screen. Watch him run right through the coverage. Jabari Greer turns around, kind of loses track of it. That was close.
Roman Harper bringing the pressure once again. He's hitting anybody in there. Linemen, quarterbacks.
Down to 40 seconds remaining. Smith on 2nd down. He throws it. It's caught by Vernon Davis. And Davis is inside the 30 and finally rushes 7 yards from Smith to Davis.
Vernon Davis has been a beast today. One-on-one with Malcolm Jenkins. Look at the throw by Alex Smith. That's also tight coverage. Fits that one into a small area.
Ball spotted at the Saints 20-yard line. 31 seconds on the clock. San Francisco with 1 timeout. They trail by 3. Smith backpedaling. He throws. It's caught by Gore. And Gore gains 7 down to the 13-yard line. And now the Niners will hurry to the line. .14 seconds on the clock.
Well, you've got your 1 timeout, so you're viable in the middle of the field here on 3rd and 3. You could get a throw into the middle, get the timeout called, have a new set of downs with the 1st down, and maybe take a shot into the end zone before you wanted to line up and take this field goal attempt.
From the 14. Smith on 3rd and 3. He throws to the end zone, and the catch is made by Vernon Davis for a Niners touchdown.
What an unbelievable game by Vernon Davis. And what a great catch, because Roman Harper hits him as soon as the ball gets there. This is so good at the point of the catch for him to be able to hold on to that ball. Roman Harper times it perfectly. He goes all the way through with the process of the catch. That's the emotion of the game. This has been the most amazing finish to a game that I have seen in a long time.
Four lead changes in the last 3 minutes, 53 seconds.
He has been the matchup issue all afternoon for New Orleans, and he was on this critical drive working out of the right slot against Malcolm Jenkins. Just a little bit of separation. What a great throw by Alex Smith into a tight window. There's the big play that gets you down into field goal range. And this one, this catch, with everything on the line. Look at the timing by Roman Harper. The hit right as the ball arrives, and he's able to hold on. For Vernon Davis, Alex Smith, Frank Gore, a lot of these guys that have been here for a long time, fought through some very difficult years with the 49ers, and what a great day this is for them right now. That's why they love this guy. They will do anything for this guy. Look at Jim Harbaugh with Vernon Davis. That is awesome.
Vernon Davis, 7 receptions, 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Saints have not lost since the day before Halloween in St. Louis.
We got 9 seconds left, Kenny.
Akers keeps it on the ground. Scooped up by Courtney Roby. Stanford band nowhere in sight as Colston is tackled with 3 seconds on the clock. the 14-yard line. Breeze throws underneath. That will do it. But now, looks like they might put some time back on the clock.
Prior to the snap. Timeout. San Francisco. Please reset the game clock to 3 seconds.
Jim Harbaugh called timeout prior to the snap, giving the Saints one last chance.
I wonder what they saw as the staff to decide to call the timeout. Looked like everybody was set and ready to go defensively.
One more time from the 14-yard line. Breeze checks it down. Sproles back to Breeze. Robert Meacham is tackled. It's a madhouse here at Candlestick. The 49ers advance to the NFC Championship game. We will return to San Francisco in just a moment. Niners win it 36-32.